expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at TalkRealSolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of TalkRealSolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not TalkRealSolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
All right. Welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am your host tonight, Tyrone Thompson. I want to thank you for tuning in. Today is March the 5th, I believe, 2026. And if you want to call the show, all you have to do is call the number that is in the description box and on the bottom of the screen. And I'll get you on the mic here. You can join the conversation. And yeah, y'all know me. I sit back and I relax and I let you have the conversation. I just ask that y'all try to respect each other, and allow other people to talk. And then, I don't know, just don't have thin skin, I guess, because people are going to say things that you disagree with, and some people take that personal. I say don't take it personal. If you pick up your phone and you call in to a, I would say, public show, then you don't know who you're talking to, and they don't know you. So it's possible they might say something that you don't like. I just hope it's respectful, and just use your head. But anyway, welcome to the show. And the reason that I'm a little thrown off is I just seen, I don't know what to make of this. I just seen this headline on the newspaper that said the U.S. and Ecuador forces launch operations to fight drug trafficking. I don't know what the fuck going on. Why Ecuador? Where is Ecuador at? Oh Lord. Let me escape this. Where the fuck is Ecuador? Is that Central America? I'm sorry. South America. Okay. So it's across from Venezuela. I don't know what America's doing. Yeah, I just seen that and that kind of threw me off with I don't know what the hell they got going on. As you all know, I'm gonna go ahead and predict it. We are in the beginning of World War III. I know y'all gonna say, you looking at it too much. You being hyperbolic and all that kind of bullshit. Well, I think I have a history of being correct when it comes to this administration. I was right about the COVID situation, even though society was inundated with conspiracies. I was right about Donald Trump stealing money. What's up, MJ and ABC? ABC, I hope you happy. I hope you happy. I hope you happy that these white boys that you was defending is in charge, and I think you were the one that yelling, Trump is not going to start any wars. I'm pretty sure you said that. As a matter of fact, I know I'm 100% sure you was promoting how Trump is not a wartime president. Now, of course, you're going to deny it because you always do when I call shit out like that. But we're at war with Iran. We're at war with Iran, and we already have soldiers coming home. Well, not coming home in body bags. This shit is just as bad as I thought it would be. You know, I don't say a lot of things, and I see that I titled the show "A Nuclear War Is Next" because I don't say what I think a lot of times because people are so goddamn sensitive. They always tell me I am being hyperbolic or I'm looking at it too much or whatever the fuck. But I want you to think about this right here. All that time I was on this show telling you about how dangerous believing in a fake ass God is. All this time I was on the show telling you how black people's mindset has been weakened about with religion. And all this time I was telling you how dangerous religion is for our community. And people were heeing and hawing and talking about spirituality. We are spirits and all this kind of bullshit. We are spirits. And the reason I'm saying all of that is because this is a religious war that we are in right now, today. This is a religious war. Oh, I'm glad you're in the chat room with ABC.
Spirituality is where we come from. That's who we is. That's what sets us apart from everybody else. We are spirits. We ain't thinking like that. We spirits.
See, motherfuckers like that is crazy as fuck. There's a psychosis when it comes to human societies that puts you in the mindset of this fake ass deity is going to come down and save you and all this kind of bullshit. Listen, that war over in Iran is nothing but a religious war. Israel told, it's in the reports. So I'm not even going to mince my words here. Israel told Donald Trump that they were going to attack Iran. And if they attacked Iran, then Iran was going to strike back and hit U.S. facilities and bases. In other words, Donald Trump is such a dumbass that he doesn't study the American history, that he doesn't study international conflicts, that he don't know that Benjamin Netanyahu has been asking every president of the United States since, I don't know, way back when, to bomb Iran. Benjamin Netanyahu has been asking every administration to bomb Iran. And every administration has turned Benjamin Netanyahu down. Why? Well, I was assuming because the people that hold that office know that Israel is highly religious, and biblically, Israel is against the Muslims. That's biblical. They supposed to be fighting in the Bible. You know, and then whenever they kill all the goddamn Muslims, Jesus is going to come back right to fucking goddamn Jerusalem. Look, I know that Israel, that's the reason that you see the well, I don't know. I'm gonna say that's the reason that why you see so much prominence of Jewish people in every walk of society. We would like to say that they're doing it to get rich and they're doing it to control people and all that kind of shit. Yeah, whatever. In a way, you're right, but in another way, they're doing it because they have a religious mindset. Is that they are the chosen people. That's why you see the black Hebrew Israelites running around here calling themselves fucking Hebrews, because they want to be Jew, because that stupid ass Bible tell them that the Jews are the chosen goddamn people, or the Hebrews, if you will. So Donald Trump listened to this bullshit from Netanyahu, and he dropped bombs on Iran. And then they lied about, well, I think they passed this stage, but initially they was lying about whether it was a war or it was an operation or it was a strategic strike. They lied about all of that. They didn't go to Congress to get authorization for this war, which makes it an illegal action. That ain't nothing new from this administration. These people are criminals and corrupt. So they illegally went to war for a second time. The first time was when they went and ousted the president of Venezuela. That was an illegal war or conflict. These people don't give a fuck about the law. They illegally bombed fucking fishing boats down around Venezuela. They illegally put military people on the streets of America to murder black people. They are erecting concentration camps in the United States of America. Christine Nome, the former head of the Department of Homeland Security, or whatever that is, she got fired today because in a hearing it was exposed that she funneled $100 million of taxpayer money to one of her fucking organizations. So they got rid of her, but that was the same person that you had in charge of sending ICE out to murder Americans. This administration is fucked up. It's corrupt, and impeachments should start now. This administration needs to be replaced immediately. But what I'm saying is falling on deaf ears, because they use propaganda to program half of America to look at this through political lenses. No matter what I say, if somebody from the other side hear me, what they're going to hear is, oh, that's a Democrat saying that. That's all they're going to hear, because they're stupid. History is going to reveal that this time period here has the dumbest, most ignorant, stupid motherfucking population to ever exist in the history of America. And the scary thing about that is these dumb, ignorant, stupid people have positions of power. They're in charge. Look at the president. That's the dumbest motherfucker that I've ever seen walking around. He lies constantly. Whenever he opens his mouth, he thinks that he's manipulating the media because he says something, he automatically think that what he says is true and people going to accept it as true. No, you lying, motherfucker. You lying every time you open your mouth. Now, I told you how savage these fucking pieces of shit barbarians are. Now he's telling the country that they're going to have to send troops into another war. Now he's telling the country that somehow it was necessary for America to bomb America bombed a fucking girls' school in Iran and killed somewhere from 80 to 100 little girls. This is shit that we was talking about that Russia was doing to Ukraine. Remember? This is shit that we was talking about that Israel was doing to the Palestinians. I don't know what the fuck happened to America, but you ain't no better than Vladimir Putin or the Iranians or the fucking Israelis for that matter. I don't know why the fuck we got to be so guarded when we talk about the Israelis or the Zionists or whatever the fuck. These people are ruining the goddamn planet, starting with taking charge of our fucking government and sending that dumbass to war. The entire time he's stealing money from the American people. I want to hear you brag about fucking grocery prices now. I want to hear you brag about fucking gas prices now. War causes everything to go fucking up. People can't even afford to live in this goddamn country. And you got Christine Nome stealing $100 million of taxpayer money. You got Donald Trump stealing money left and right. You got him stealing money by enacting these tariffs. People are losing their fucking houses. They losing their farms. They can't get fucking health care. They're taking away benefits. And this dumbass with Elon Musk came in with Doge. And they fired everybody in the goddamn government. Donald Trump was firing fucking generals. Guess who the fuck you need now, motherfucker? You need those same generals that you fired to fight this goddamn war, you fucking moron. Donald Trump fired half of the State Department. Well, I said that. I said half. Let me see. I don't want to lie. So I don't know why I got to fucking fact check myself. Well, I do know why, because people go, that ain't true. I'm pretty sure it was half of the goddamn State Department. Well, I'll give you these numbers. It says, as of July 2025, the U.S. State Department began laying off over 1,300 employees, approximately 15% of the domestic workforce. As a major part of the restructuring and streamlining operation to include 1,100 civil servants, 246 foreign service officers, and a total departures, including buyouts, reached around 3,000 people. So maybe my numbers was off with half, and I'm glad I looked that up. But the point I'm making with the State Department, That's a vital part of the U.S. government. The State Department is in charge of foreign policy, right? In so many words. And now that Donald Trump has started this goddamn war without notice, without permission, he has Americans stuck overseas without a way home because they bombing the fucking airports. And the State Department is the people that's supposed to provide information and ways and transportation for those Americans to get back home to make sure they're safe. But this administration just started dropping fucking bombs, not giving a fuck about the Americans being overseas, whether it be on business or vacation. And now you see Americans coming on social media pleading for help from the United States of America to get them the fuck out of a war zone. Those people didn't ask to be there. And I remember clear as day how everybody was blaming Joe Biden for the withdrawal from Afghanistan, which I always said that was Donald Trump's withdrawal, but that's neither here nor there. But I want to see these same people talk about how Donald Trump going to get these American citizens home. There is no plan in place to try to get these American citizens back home. And hopefully that the bombing don't hit where these people are located. But you don't hear the White House saying a goddamn thing about bringing these American citizens back home. Nothing. And that's because the Trump administration is the most corrupt, inept. They're out of their fucking league. They're out of their league. You got rid of fucking military generals and you hired Pete Hegseth, a fucking Fox News host, to run the Department of fucking Defense. And if he wouldn't have got rid of all of his goddamn generals and pay attention to fucking the Constitution, I'm pretty sure we would not be in Iran right now. But because Donald Trump is Donald Trump, he think that he knows the best. And people like Sarge and ABC and MAGA, these people put a battery in this guy's back and they continue to not push back when this motherfucker is just basically, you know what? You know I'm going to do something different now because I did watch. Let me see if I can find it. I did watch Megyn Kelly. Stupid bitch. I did watch her and Marjorie Taylor Greene. So let me see if I can find this shit. I'm just gonna let Marjorie Taylor Greene, and you got to, you know I got to be off my motherfucking rocker to be allowing Marjorie Taylor Greene through Megyn Kelly's show to speak for me. So, and I'm not going to say shit This is MAGA. This is a fucking conspiracy theorist. This lady is fucking lunatic. There is something wrong. She's racist. She's hateful. Both of these bitches on this screen are fucking white fucking supremacists. And I hate both of them. And I couldn't believe what the fuck was being said on this show here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Megyn Kelly and Marjorie Taylor Greene speak for a little while. And I want y'all to, and this ain't me. This is not coming from the fucking left. This is how fucked up Donald Trump is, that he's gonna turn these extremist ass white women, these racist ass pieces of shit, against him. You can't make this shit up. Let me see if it'll play. All right, so let's see. It says play now. Do I play now? Play now. Okay, why it's not playing? Do y'all hear anything? I don't hear shit. Oh, Lord. Okay. What I'll do is I'll work on getting you this audio. But they had a show, this show here, and Marjorie Taylor Greene and this other stupid motherfucker was talking about how Donald Trump has completely went back on everything that he said. All the promises that he made, all of that shit that he said about America first and not going into war and all of that shit was clearly a fucking lie. And the reason that I'm trying to connect the dots here is because if these fucking idiots can actually wake the hell up and realize that Donald Trump is a fucking liar, of course they didn't go against him because they fucking sycophants. If these people can wake up, and not really wake up, I don't know what the hell you would call it, because I can't stand these motherfuckers. If they got an understanding about how Donald Trump is full of shit, and that Donald Trump basically is doing a 360 degree turn on everything that he said, I don't understand why the fuck somebody, some simpleton like Sarge and ABC don't understand that they've been lied to. I don't get that. I don't get why the conversation is still about Democrat and Republican, because it shouldn't be. This is nonpartisan. This whole administration is nonpartisan. And just unfortunately for y'all, the party that is committing all the offenses is the party that you voted for. That's just a fact. The party you voted for is the ones that's doing all the bullshit. And I don't even have to say that if it was a Democrat, y'all know good and damn well, you know, we wouldn't have a problem calling them motherfuckers out. But for some reason, because Donald Trump has used some type of psychological warfare on these fucking cult-minded followers, They will never say that he did anything wrong. They will never say that he did anything wrong. And that's a problem. Because what it's doing is giving them permission to continue tearing down this democracy, breaking the laws, taking away benefits from the American people, tearing down health care, taking away people's Social Security and Medicaid. And you got to be a sick piece of shit just like, I ain't talking about Sarge and that, but Sarge is of that age, right? I'm pretty sure he is. He shared his age with us one time, but he's of that age to where if he's not receiving benefits, he's gonna receive them shortly, right? And he worked his entire life in this country to get to a point in life where this country owes him back. That's what we do for our seniors, right? I mean, we barely take care of them, but it's theirs. They earned it.
I sense your aggravation.
They earned it. But he's one of these people, even though it's going to affect him directly, what Donald Trump is doing to Social Security and Medicaid and all that kind of bullshit. He's one of these fucking cult-minded people that no matter what Donald Trump do, he cannot be wrong. I guarantee you, if I talk to him or if he shows up tonight, he's going to try to justify this illegal war in Iran. You can't fuck with motherfuckers like that. They're gone. He's fucking gone. He's in a cult. And I'm not even a fucking lawyer. I'm not a politician. But everybody know that this goddamn war is illegal as fuck. Let me see if I can get Marjorie Taylor Greene to tell you better than I can. Let me see. Why the fuck ain't this thing playing? Okay, well, she ain't saying shit. All right, well, that ain't gonna happen. I thought I could download it and let it play. But I was surprised at this little interview that she did, how she went the fuck off on Donald Trump, how she's telling Donald Trump that this is a fucking illegal war, how she emphasized, and this is a congresswoman, that Donald Trump need to get permission from Congress to take these actions, and how Donald Trump has lied to the MAGA base because part of Donald Trump's campaign was no new wars. Donald Trump, before he got elected president, he was talking about President Obama is going to go to war with Iran to get elected. That's ironic, ain't it? Being that the midterms is coming up. But he was telling everybody that President Obama. Oh Lord, can y'all hear me? Hold on for a second. Did my mic go out? Oh Lord, I don't see nothing going on. Hold on for a minute. Test. Oh yeah, I'm on. But why I'm not on the board? Okay, let me call back in because that ain't right. I'll be right back.
This service is provided in high definition by freeconferencecallhd.com. There are 3 participants in the conference. Q&A
Okay.
session has started. The recording has started.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. If you own the damn keyboard or the switchboard, my audio dropped for some damn reason, and I had to call back in because I noticed I wasn't getting any audio.
I sense your
Okay, never
aggravation, your
mind.
frustration as I watched your Twitter feed. And
Okay, so somebody push. I guess they were calling in and tell me that. But here's Marjorie Taylor Greene and Megyn Kelly. I guess there was something wrong with my audio on this end, so I'm gonna let y'all hear these people for a little while.
I sense your aggravation, your frustration as I watched your Twitter feed, and you were in the minority on X, which again, it was just, I mean, X is completely saturated in neocons, the pro-Israel crowd, and people who would love to cheerlead us right into another Middle East ground war that's endless. I was grateful for your contrary perspective, Marjorie. Thank you for being here today, and give us your overall view on why you're against this.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Megyn, and I completely agree with everything you said in your intro. I'd also like to point out that X is saturated in bots as well, and paid social media influencers who just echo whatever their money tells them to say, the money that they're getting paid for. And so I think that just like our media has been nothing but propaganda for as long as you and I can remember, I think social media has turned into the same thing. What I do know is most Americans, and it's being proved in polling that's coming out, most Americans are completely against this war because, like you said, the president has made no case for it. We live our ordinary lives and we don't feel threatened by Iran. We don't walk around thinking that in any moment an Iranian ballistic missile is going to land on our head. We don't. Here's what Americans, and I want to read off this list. This is what Americans are focused on. 72% of Americans can't afford health insurance. 58% of Americans can't afford car insurance. 67% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. 31% of Americans can't afford their back taxes. 50% of Americans are in credit card debt, massive credit card debt. That's where we are in America. And I campaigned with the president. As a matter of fact, I was one of the only Republicans that was out there for Donald Trump when the rest of the neocons, by the way, that are just cheering him on now, had abandoned him and were trying to beat him in a primary and stop him from being president again. I was out there on the front lines for Make America Great Again. And Make America Great Again was supposed to be America first, not Israel first, not any foreign country first, not any foreign people first, but the American people first in our problems. And God bless the Iranian people. I hope to God that they can have a government that is for them and that treats women fairly. But what we have seen happen right now is we have seen over 100 little girls killed at a school from a bomb. And I don't know whose bomb it was, but they're dead today because America and Israel attacked Iran. So that's not really good for Iranian women. And our president is saying that the Iranian people are all of a sudden going to topple their regime. Well, I don't think the Iranian people are going to be toppling their regime when they're getting blown apart by the United States and Israel in an unprovoked attack. And yes, it was unprovoked. And Pete Hegseth said this morning, Megyn, he said that we didn't start this war. But I hate to argue with the Secretary of the Department of War. America and Israel definitely started this war, and you can't lie that away to the American people. And so, you know how I feel.
All right, well, she said a mouthful, and there's a couple of, listen, I can't stand these racist bitches. Let me clean my language up. I can't stand these racist women that we're listening to right now. But I got enough sense to know when somebody is saying something correct, I'm not going to sit up here and say, well, that wasn't correct. What she's saying is right. Is that the Secretary of the Department of Defense, I guess he's the Secretary of War, whatever the fuck he is, Pete Hegseth, came out to the American people and lied and told the American people that Iran started the goddamn war. That's a fucking lie. It happened just like she was alluding to, and I said earlier, is that Donald Trump is in the pockets of the Jews or Israel or the Zionists. I know I can't use that. I better use that word loosely. But Benjamin Netanyahu told our weak ass president to drop fucking bombs on Iran. Just like Benjamin Netanyahu been trying to get this done for the last fucking 30 goddamn years. And ain't no other president fell for it, but this motherfucker did. And I'm gonna tell y'all something else. I kept alluding to how involved Israel was with Jeffrey Epstein. Listen to what I'm saying. You heard it here first, goddammit. Because I don't know if anybody else said it, but I'm gonna say it. You know how we was talking about Donald Trump? Russia had compromised on Donald Trump, had some compromising information on Donald Trump. Now, I'm not saying that that was wrong, right? With the P-tape and everything. But, listen to this. Jeffrey Epstein is the motherfucker that had all the dirt on all of these motherfuckers. Listen to what I'm saying. Jeffrey Epstein was blackmailing every goddamn body. Now, here's another level to the damn tier. And you can call this a conspiracy or whatever the fuck, but this is the way I'm thinking. Here's another level to the tier. Jeffrey Epstein, Ludnick, Ghislaine Maxwell, a lot of them people that was involved with that island were Jewish. A lot of them people that was involved with that island was Jewish. Now, it's been said, let me see, my brain be going. Y'all know how we have the CIA? Well, in Israel, they have what they call Mossad. See, Mossad is a Institute for Intelligence Special Operation in Israel. It's his national foreign intelligence agency responsible for intelligence collection and covert operation and terrorism. So, in other words, Israel's CIA was involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was also involved with our CIA, right? But I want to stay on Israel right now because they're full of shit. Israel CIA was involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was collecting information about all of these powerful people. So here is what I think. I think that Jeffrey Epstein and Benjamin Netanyahu was buddies. Jeffrey Epstein has all this compromising information on Donald Trump. And when Jeffrey Epstein went to jail, either Donald Trump was told to do it by Israel or Donald Trump did it on his own. But they happened to get rid of that problem called Jeffrey. Because there's too much shit going on not for this shit to be connected. Jeffrey Epstein did not commit suicide because he had too much information on Donald Trump. Now, because Jeffrey Epstein was close to the fucking Israel, and he had all of this information on Donald Trump, now this is a conspiracy. Perhaps he shared that information with Netanyahu. Right? If Jeffrey Epstein shared that shit with Netanyahu, now Netanyahu got compromising information on Donald Trump. What did Donald Trump do in his first administration that has never been done? He made Jerusalem the capital of Israel. Because perhaps Netanyahu has compromising information on Donald Trump. What is Donald Trump doing in his administration to the Palestinians? He's allowing a genocide of the Palestinians because perhaps Netanyahu got compromising information on Donald Trump. And then lastly, what the fuck just happened in Israel's favor that Israel been trying to do for 30 motherfucking years? Bomb Iran. Why did Donald Trump bomb Iran? Because he got fucking information. Netanyahu got information on Donald Trump. I don't give a shit what y'all say. And I know I just made all that shit up in my head, but y'all got to connect the dots your goddamn self. Because there is no, we got one motherfucking country, one goddamn constitution. Our borders stop where they fucking stop. There is no way in the fuck we should be supporting and defending another goddamn country the way that we're defending Israel. That's not a thing. That is not a thing. We shouldn't be obligated to do a motherfucking thing for any other country on this goddamn planet. Because we're the United States of a fucking America. All of this fucking religious shit about Israel and the fucking re-rising of Christ and all that kind of bullshit, we ain't never fell for that bullshit. But now you got Mac Huckabee, a religious fucking extremist, over in Israel. And I told y'all how I feel about Christians and fucking Jewish people getting along. That's one of the dumbest relationships historically that you can. The Jews don't even think Christ is a motherfucking God. That's a fact. I think they use the Torah or some bullshit, not even your fucking Bible. How dumb is Americans to allow the Jewish people to fucking goddamn talk them into doing bullshit? I ain't gonna say the Americans, the other presidents held firm. This motherfucker's an idiot. But think about that. Jeffrey Epstein gets killed. Jeffrey Epstein has and all of this shit is in the files. That's where I got this shit from. Jeffrey Epstein has a connection to Mossad, right? And our CIA. Jeffrey Epstein gets killed, and then Donald Trump is basically ignoring a fucking genocide that is going on in Israel. He's talking about building buildings because Netanyahu is making them all these goddamn promises. If you do this for me, you know, your information's safe with me. You can come over here and you can do your fucking real estate or whatever the fuck. And then Netanyahu got desperate because he know he cannot try this with another motherfucking president. He told Donald Trump, look, I'm getting ready to go bomb Iran. And either you bomb Iran along with me, or I'm releasing this fucking information on your ass. Because the Epstein files is hot right now. Right? Everybody's sitting on the edge of their seat wanting to see what next come out of the Epstein files. And Benjamin, now listen, this is my conspiracy. I'm not saying this for fact, okay? I got to keep fucking giving this disclaimer. And I could use the words allegedly or whatever the fuck. But I'm telling you, everything is aligning up to what the fuck I said. Now, the reason that I named the show what I did, what the fuck I call it? Oh, a nuclear war is next. Because this shit is biblical for Israel. They don't give a fuck about people dying. Listen to what I'm saying. When you are in a religious war, the people that believe in that ideology, their purpose is to fight the war so they can go to whatever heavenly place that they believe in. That's a fact. That's a fact. So they don't care about mass fucking killing people because they're doing it in the name of their religion. That's why they're able to kill the Palestinians the way that's why they're able to commit genocide the way that they doing. Is because their religion tells them that they're supposed to do that. That's why we can't put our finger on why Israel is so easily to just kill people, because it's all about religion for them. But let me finish. Let Marjorie Taylor Greene and this other racist white bitch. Let me watch your language, Tyrone. Saying what they saying so y'all can listen.
So right now, I am irate. I am furious about this. We are nearly $40 trillion in debt. How much is this war going to cost us? We have seen enough of our American troops dead and murdered for foreign countries. And now we've had 4 dead and murdered, just like you said, for Israel and for the Iranian people, not for the American people. And I don't want to see any more dead and murdered. Our military is filled with some of the greatest people from our country, and God bless their families who are probably losing their minds right now, terrified that their son or daughter or their husband or wife or brother or sister may come home in a flag draped coffin. And then we have the president who, by the way, Megan, this really needs to be said. Donald Trump has said repeatedly on camera and in interviews, he doesn't think he's going to heaven. Well, I want to ask a question, a serious question. What is in his mind? What is his mental state? If he doesn't think he's going to heaven and he is a man towards the end, he's in the 4th quarter, he's towards the end of his life. How does that pan out for the rest of us when we have a president of the United States who doesn't think and is convinced he's not going to heaven? What does that mean his decision making is? He already said to the New York Post today that he doesn't care about the polling. He doesn't care about what the American people think, and he may put troops on the ground. He took this is going to be a few-day war, to now it's going to be maybe 4 weeks or more. I want to say, what is happening to the man that I supported, you supported, the man that denounced what happened in Iraq, the man that said no more foreign wars, no more regime change, promise it on the campaign. J.D. Vance promised it. Tulsi Gabbard promised it. All of them promised it. And we're a year in, and we're in another fucking war, and we've got American troops being killed. I think it's time for America to rip the Band-Aid off, and we need to have a serious conversation about what the fuck is happening to this country and who in the hell are these decisions being made for, and who is making these decisions.
Mm-hmm. The president on the heaven thing has said he was being cheeky about that he actually doesn't have worries. But I understand your greater point. Who is making the decisions? Because the President Trump that was talking to us about going in and, we're going to, the Iranian people, they're going to thank me. I did you a favor. I made you a promise and I lived up to it. He was talking to the Iranian people, not the American people.
Yeah.
I made you a promise and I lived up. What do you mean? They didn't vote for you.
That's right.
They weren't on the campaign trail for you.
Nope.
We're the ones who are putting our best and bravest at risk right now. And he says the Iranian people it's up to them to now sort of take the baton and like install new leadership. They have no guns. They're sheltering in place because we're bombing their country right now. How are they what is the plan for them to then take the baton and install a new leader? Mm-hmm. How are they going to do that with the IRGC still intact and they're still being Iranian leaders? Not everybody was wiped out. And his comments to the press today seem to be they're going to lay down their arms and join with the Iranian patriots.
No, they're not.
Based on what?
Yeah.
Based on what? So if that doesn't happen willingly, just by the grace of God, okay, we're going to do it, then we are going to have to do it, or Israel's going to have to do it. And the more Israel fights, the more we have to fight, MTG, because that's what got us into this mess to begin with. We saw they were going to head and do it, and we felt like we had no choice because they were going to attack our bases first thing as soon as Israel did it.
That's right. No, you're absolutely right. And I heard an analyst say today that okay, we've killed approximately maybe 40 or more of their top leadership and the Ayatollah. Well, guess what? the cleric ruling class is about 50,000 deep in their government. I mean, are we going to kill all 50,000 of them before they can bring a new government in? And while this is happening, Megan, we're bombing them. We are bombing them and killing their people and destroying their buildings and wreaking havoc on their entire ability to function in daily life. Do we really think these people are going to be saying, oh, thank you, America. Thank you. God bless you. We're killing them and killing their children. So I think we're radicalizing a whole new generation of Iranians.
That's what I worry about too.
That don't remember, like me and you, we don't remember. We were kids when the last regime was taken out and this new regime was put in. And I think this whole thing is not what we voted for, Megan. It is absolutely America last. It's the same bullshit we've seen for decades now. And I don't think the president is being tongue in cheek. I know that man very well. And he repeatedly says he's not going to heaven, the same way he repeatedly says that what do you think? Should I run for president again? You know, I think that started out as we could take it as a joke, but I don't think he's joking. And I know you're not willing to go there, but I am. I really want to know, what is his mental state and who is he doing this for? Because it's not for the American people. He's lying. He's gone back on what he promised. No more foreign wars, no more regime change. And I want to know, where the hell is JD Vance? Where is he? Where is Tulsi Gabbard? Because if they stand by and are silent, and they're turning back on the same words they said. It's all on video. All of them are on video saying it, just like I'm on video saying no more foreign wars, no more regime change. I'm on video on campaign stages and at Trump rallies saying the exact same thing. But where's JD and where's Tulsi? And the president.
Well, I'm sure behind the scenes, at least JD has worked to stop this, but he's lost. I mean, that's
he's got to say
what's obvious now is any detractor. The same way Tucker went in and tried to talk Trump out of this, and he lost and admitted the Mark Levins of the world have won.
Yep.
I mean, Mark Levin and Lindsey Graham, forgive me, spent the entire weekend with a massive hard-on. There's just no, you can see it
now,
in
let
the
me
commentary.
say this right
They
here.
were thrilled. They were.
Let me say this right here. They talk about Mark Levin and Lindsey Graham. Fuck Lindsey Graham. But guess what Mark Levin is? And he's been promoting this. He's been promoting this shit from right-wing radio and right. Mark Levin is a fucking Jew. I am not lying. These people, if you look at Stephen Miller is a goddamn Jew. Or Zionist. Let me stop saying Zionist because there's a lot of Jews. I'm going to start saying Zionist. Mark Levin is a Jew, and he's been a Zionist or pro-Israel. I can say pro-Israel. Mark Levin is pro-Israel, and he's been pumping this shit. There's a clip of Donald Trump and Mark Levin at the White House standing behind the podium, and Mark Levin telling Donald Trump, "You're our first Jewish president." This is not even a lie. I wish I could out to pull it up. He's telling Donald Trump, "You're our first Jewish president." Let me tell you what. America needs to cut the umbilical cord from Israel. America needs to cut the umbilical cord from Israel because they have permeated this goddamn society. Now they own all of the goddamn media companies. I told you about the guy last week that bought up every motherfucking thing. That's a Jewish person. And now they're going to control. They bought up Twitter and CBS and all of these media outlets all at one goddamn time. Now they're going to control what people say and monitor them, whether it's anti-Israel. They're already attacking people in this society and calling them anti-Semitic, and they're holding them accountable. I've seen social media accounts deleted because they said something about Israel. Donald Trump has allowed free speech in this country to be compromised by the goddamn Zionists. That's a fact. You can't say shit about the fucking Israel, but you can say nigga all day long. You can make memes of people's knees on George Floyd's neck. You can make fun of black women and black culture on the internet all day long. Nobody don't get flagged, don't no channel. But just as soon as you say Israel, then next thing you know, the channel getting taken down. So I'm gonna finish this audio. Hold on.
Mark Levin and Lindsey Graham, forgive me, spent the entire weekend with a massive hard-on. There's just no, you could see it in the commentary. They were thrilled. They were gleeful. I mean, they were just overly excited at the fact that we were now risking American troops' lives for Israel. And what does Lindsey Graham do to go out there and like quell anybody's concerns that that's what we're doing? You know, he just keeps doubling down and doubling down. And now he's mentioning Cuba. Hold on, do we have that? Yes. Here he is on FNC Sunday night. This is SOT 16.
Is President Trump finished the job that President Reagan failed to do. I am a big admirer of Ronald Reagan, but I'm here to tell you that Donald Trump, in my opinion, is the gold standard for Republicans, maybe any president, and when it comes to foreign policy. Maduro, everybody talked about him. Well, Donald Trump's got him in jail. Cuba's next. They're going to fall. This communist dictatorship in Cuba, their days are numbered. The Iranian regime, the mothership of international terrorism, is about to collapse. The captain of the ship, the Ayatollah, is stone cold dead.
Cuba's next, they're going to fall. This is after Trump on Friday. We played this bite on our show on Friday, saying maybe we'll have a friendly takeover of Cuba, which we don't know what that means. But now, so now they're talking about Cuba. And let me just give you one more, MTG. The former Prime Minister of Israel, Naftali Bennett, was at the Conference of Presidents of Major American Jewish Organizations in Jerusalem on February 17th. And listen to what he said then. SOT 20.
A new Turkish threat is emerging. I want to be very clear. Turkey and Qatar have gained influence in Syria, are seeking influence elsewhere and everywhere throughout the region. And from here, I warn, Turkey is the new Iran. Erdogan is sophisticated, dangerous, and he seeks to encircle Israel. And while some senior Israelis were on Qatar's payroll, Qatar and Turkey are nourishing the Islamic Brotherhood monster that is growing and eventually might become as dangerous as the one created by Iran. Turkey and Qatar are gaining influence not only in Syria, but also in Gaza, through the front door, and everywhere, and trying to create a new choke rink. Turkey is trying to flip Saudi Arabia against us and establish a hostile Sunni axis with nuclear Pakistan.
So where does it end?
I shared that on my social media as well. I think Israel, and I'm talking about the government of Israel, I think these people, they literally are trying to start World War III. It's completely out of control. It will never end. War will continue when Israel is pushing the United States and demanding that we wage war with them. It will continue as long as we're alive. It will never end. And Lindsey Graham, I saw a video of him this morning, and he was choking back tears, swallowing back tears, because he was saying he was so proud of President Trump for declaring war and going to war with Iran. He wasn't choking back tears for the American military members that have been killed and their families who are mourning their deaths right now. He's choking back tears because he's so happy about war. Megan, I can remember on a campaign stage in Lindsey Graham's home county where he was born and went to elementary school, where he's from. I stood on that stage and spoke before him, and I said, no more foreign wars, no more regime change. And I said, we're going to end the war in Ukraine. The crowd went nuts, thousands of people. Then Lindsey Graham came out right behind me and spoke right after me, and they booed him for 10 minutes on stage. That was a little over, I think it was about a year and a half ago. It was during the campaign. They booed him in his home county for 10 minutes straight. But when you watch a video like that from the former Prime Minister of Israel, all I can think about is the military-industrial complex Those guys are lighting up their cigars, drinking their whiskey, and patting each other on the back because all they can think about is how much money they're going to make off the American taxpayers, making bombs, building new aircraft, building new drones, and building all kinds of military equipment just to kill people all over the world. While the American people, all they want is to be able to fucking afford a house, afford health insurance, and be able to maybe live the dream like the baby boomers did and live a family that can live on a single family income and not have both parents working themselves to death so their children have to live in daycare and grow up in daycare. And that's the reality that we're in, Megan.
Think about this. In 2006, $20,000
All right,
equals
shut up,
roughly
bitch.
33.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so y'all heard all of that. And, you know, like I said, I'm the type of person, if somebody say something that make good sense, I'll listen to them. And, I mean, they was right about Donald Trump and what's going on with Donald Trump changing his mind. And that person from Israel, let me show you. Listen, I got a map of Israel on the stage right now. This is Israel, okay? Let me show you what the Bible promises Israel, okay? Let me show you what the Bible promises Israel. So this is Israel. Here is Iraq. The Bible promises Israel. You remember the guy just got finished talking about Turkey. The Bible promises Israel every bit of this shit right here that's kind of in the gray. Turkey, Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Yemen, the Bible, and Egypt. The Bible promises Israel all of that shit. Sudan. This is what the fuck Israel is going for. And Donald Trump is so dumb, he never read the motherfucking Bible, and he don't know what the goddamn the Israelis are up to because he is fucking stupid. He don't know that they're trying to live out this fucking prophecy in their fucking Torah, and what the prophecy says is in order for Jesus to come back or whatever the fuck that happened over there, Israel got to take all of this shit over first. This is why I don't fuck with religion. Now we're in another motherfucking religious war. I know they're not saying that, but I'm telling you, because them people with the tiny hats has missiles, and anybody that they attack, the Palestinians, the Iraqis, anybody, it's because of religious reasons. And then you just heard that person from Israel talking about they're going to attack Turkey. Get the fuck out of here. Get the hell out of here. And Donald Trump is a fucking idiot. Oh, well, let me shut up. Hold on. Let me see if I got anything else to talk about. I'm going to come to you, Lisa. But yeah, y'all see what it is. Donald Trump is being controlled by Netanyahu. And I believe that this is my conspiracy, and all of this is alleged. I believe that Jeffrey Epstein was killed because Jeffrey Epstein was tied to Israel. He had connection with Mossad, and he gave fucking Netanyahu compromising information on Donald Trump. Donald Trump got rid of fucking Jeffrey Epstein. Now Israel is using that compromising information to get Donald Trump to do whatever the fuck it wants to do. And Jeffrey Epstein was also close with Russia too. So Russia probably had access to this information through Jeffrey Epstein. He was close with Russia. So all of this Russia shit, no, that wasn't fucking false. Because Donald Trump's best friend for 15 goddamn years was a goddamn pedophile who abused fucking children. And he blackmailed powerful people. And whenever he got locked the fuck up, Donald Trump, because in the Epstein files itself, listen to me, y'all. In the Epstein files itself, there's conversations, the emails where Jeffrey Epstein is literally threatening Donald Trump, telling him that he got information on him. Or he ain't threatening Donald Trump. He's like talking to other people about what he got on Donald Trump. So I said that wrong. But it's in the goddamn files. So Jeffrey Epstein got locked up. That was an opportunity for either Donald Trump or somebody else to get that man with all this information on everybody out of the way. And they did that. And I believe because Jeffrey Epstein has connection with Mossad, which is Israel's CIA, somehow or another Jeffrey Epstein shared this information with those people. And now those people have compromising information on our president, and that motherfucker is too dumb and too fucking spineless not to stand up to him. And now he's done started a fucking goddamn war with American fucking civilians overseas that can't get fucking home because the State Department was dismantled by his administration. For anybody else, this motherfucking shit would have been impeachment. He's disqualified. And for the Supreme Court of the United States of America to give this man immunity, somehow or another, if the Democrats ever take over, they need to go ahead and install the number of justices to overpower that goddamn Supreme Court and undo all of this bullshit that these extremists have done. Democracy is gone. Democracy is gone. We don't have a democracy. We're living on the fucking flames of whatever the fuck you want to call it in this country. It's not democracy no more. Because they have arrested people for their goddamn speech. They have arrested people like reporters and sent them to goddamn jail. They have killed people, innocent people in this goddamn street. They're building fucking concentration camps. They're locking innocent people up. They're fucking taking over the goddamn voting system in this country. Jasmine Crockett lost in Texas the other night because there was some fucking corruption shit going on in Dallas where people literally didn't get to vote. You know, and I've heard it said that, you know, because of her and the way her campaign was, but I don't know. It shouldn't be questionable. Our elections in this country have been fine for as long as I've been knowing. And all of a sudden, you got people taking fucking goddamn ballots. Donald Trump explaining to the media that, you know, the elections is compromised, them trying to stop mail-in ballots, all this kind of bullshit. But I'm telling y'all, if people aren't saying it, right? If people aren't saying it, Israel is a fucking cancer. I ain't gonna say Israel, but the Zionists is a fucking cancer to America. To America. I ain't pulling no goddamn punches. These people with the tiny hats, these people have installed themselves in our political system, and we have a fucking lobby group called AIPAC, and they're paying off politicians. What the fuck is that about? And then I played y'all the 1-800-CARS commercial, Cars for Kids commercial the other week, showing you that the Israel owned that whole goddamn thing. They too fucking embedded in America. And I hope we get a leader, because they stole. Let me see. I got to figure out how to say this. They enriched themselves to the point to where they can afford, and the money that they're getting, guess where it's coming from? It's coming from us. We're paying their fucking government. They don't produce shit. I know they claim that they make jewelry and all that, but you can't make that motherfucking much jewelry to run a goddamn country. Look at it. It's a fucking desert. I don't think they got no products over there. I don't know. I'll have to Google that. But they don't make shit. So our money, listen, this is how much money the American people produce. We pay enough taxes to run Israel. We pay enough taxes so Christine Noem can take $100 million from us. We pay enough taxes where Donald Trump can become a billionaire. We pay enough. We listen. The American people need to wake up. The American people need to wake up and realize, and not only the American people, black society too, black community, Y'all need to get off of this shit where they pretending like they don't owe us shit. They owe us, and they can afford to pay us. So somehow or another, there need to be some type of effort to where they straighten this motherfucking shit back up and give everybody what theirs due. Their due. Because if they can pay fucking Israel, they can give us what we're owed. It's a whole goddamn country that we're buying. Okay, so I'll shut up. If y'all want to call in, call in to the number 717-908-1834. And Miss Elisa, I got your mic open. What you got, sis? You there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you
there you
here?
Go.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. One real quick, the guy who beat Mrs. James Tallarico, who beat Jasmine Crockett, he received big donations from Miriam Adelson. And anyone who's listening, when they do decide to listen,
that's a Jew.
Google that name. Yeah. No, a Zionist.
A Zionist.
She's the one who has been all of these hundreds of millions of dollars to Trump. And when they wanted him to change to put the what was that Trump had did the Capitol in what was it, Jerusalem or whatever it was that they were doing, and donated the $100 million to his campaign and stuff like that. And the Alice's was the one. Let me get that. Adelson.
Yeah, Donald Trump is bought and paid for, y'all. He's bought and paid for. Because that Addison lady that Elisa's talking about, they did it right on TV in front of our fucking eyes. I know what she's talking about because they did it in a ceremony.
Yeah, they gave Trump $100 million to the Trump campaign in 2024. Sheldon and Miriam Adelson, and they was the ones that paid to move it to the Capitol, wherever it was, to Jerusalem. They was the one. They $200 million contributed to him to do that. They've been bad up. I mean, they just buy their way. So he received donations very quietly. He didn't want anyone to know that he received big donations from them as well. So I hated that Jasmine lost. I don't live in Texas, never would. But they're going to get what he was paid for. Tell you. And I just think she's too good for them. She's too good for them. So that is where that is. But I was listening to the video that you playing of was it Marjorie Taylor Greene and what's the other white woman name?
Megyn Kelly.
Megyn Kelly, yes. All of that stuff they were sitting there spewing, I'll take it. But they knew all of that when they were helping to put that man in office.
Yeah, that's my point.
They knew all of that.
I'm glad you said that. That's my
point.
They
knew all of that. Mm-hmm. They knew all of that. That's just not new to them. They can spout it, spew it now. They knew everything. They knew all this stuff. Even before it happened, they knew. Say it now, good, we'll take it. The Mexicans, Nick Fuentes and all of them all upset, saying don't vote in the midterms, vote for the Democrats. All of those people knew it. They knew what that man was about. You all were not that stupid. Yes, a lot of Trump fans, his diehards, a lot of them are stupid. But these people, they're not stupid. You knew this. What did you expect? People were telling these people that this man and these people are lying. But I will say this. We keep giving Trump too much credit. Trump's brain is gone. It's idle. All he cares about is decorating his ballroom and different things like that. There's other people behind him doing all of this. And even if his brain wasn't idle, which it is, He's never was smart enough to do and to know how to do all of these things. It's players behind him that's doing all of that. He's just a little puppet that they know who they know his brain is deficient. He's suffering from his frontal lobes and all of that. But because I don't believe that he has Alzheimer's. I think he has that other thing where it's just that's what's going on with him. That man doesn't have a clue. I believe
they got compromising information on him. And that's why
of course that.
That's why Jeffrey Epstein got killed. And I believe Netanyahu is playing this man with that information. That's just my opinion.
This too. Oh no, I agree with you. I agree. Yes, that too. But as far as a lot of the things that's going on, Trump is clueless. He's such cognitive decline. It's pathetic. He's clueless. It's just like, so they probably don't even really have to even use the blackmail anymore. I bet you if you give him a lie detector test, Donald Trump, he would pass it with flying colors. Because I don't think he knows. I don't think he is really even, as far as here in reality with the rest of us. I believe he actually believes a lot of that stuff that he's touting. We're at war. He's talking about curtains. He fluffers all over his words. His body is deteriorating, and I don't think he's here in reality with us. I really, really don't. And I doubt that the blackmail they even have to pull that out on him. I
believe that he knows what is in those Epstein files. And it's his life. He know what he did in the past, and he know what he did to those children, and he's not allowing that information.
Some of it.
He's not allowing that information to come out, and he's got a tight hold on whatever come out of his administration.
I don't think so. Tyrone, you're giving that man too much credit. I think that he remembers. He's aware of. He's still aware of a lot of things, but Trump's brain is just about mincemeat. That's why they don't let him do a lot. How he just drifts off into nonsense. Half of the stuff he doesn't know. He's just winging it. That's why they dragged Melania out to the UN when she held that session, because he was supposed to be there. And they don't trust what he's going to say out of his mouth, so they keep it very narrow what he does. Yes, I believe all of that, what you're saying, but I'm not going to give him all that credit that he's just all this knowing and he's the keeper of this. No, that man's brain is almost gone. Have you not been paying him attention?
Well, I mean, what I'm trying to tell you is I agree with you, but I believe because he's been rich all of his life, and I don't know if you remember years ago where that kid was suffering from affluenza, where when rich people they don't socialize right? So you have so much money all your fucking life that's you're not in touch with everybody else. And here's the definition right here. It says it's a term describing psychological and social dysfunction, anxiety, debt, and emptiness resulting from intense consumerist pursuit of wealth. And they said that this is a real mental condition. And I believe rich people like him, like Melania, like the dude that got caught in a lie, Lutzowitz or whatever his name is. I believe all those rich, even Hillary Clinton to a certain point. But those people is out of fucking touch and they look aloof. Donald Trump Jr. got that shit. But that doesn't mean you excuse them for their bad behavior.
No.
You
don't excuse any of that.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that I think that, with that was the affluence or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Yes. He's always had that. He's always had that. He's never been the smartest person. We all know that, but now that he's dealing with diminished capacity, his brain is stuck in the affluence. His brain is stuck.
Yeah, he's disconnected. He's disconnected.
Yeah, he's disconnected into what he always wanted to be, the greatest, the king, the this. That's where his brain is residing at. I just honestly don't think that it takes much took blackmail, yes, but I don't think it even takes that much blackmail now to control him. I don't think he's really cognizant. They could tell him, oh, everything is great. Like he'd be out there talking about I'm the greatest and I'm the this and I did this. When he was talking, I think it was the AI people was there a couple of days ago, and he was flubbering all over his words. And it was something they were talking to do with AI. He was like, oh yeah, you're sure, I came up with that. That was my idea. And the people, did you see those clips that you couldn't understand what he was saying? How you did? He was like, and yeah, I came up with that. Such a good idea. And he couldn't say the word. That man's brains is gone. His brains is gone. All they got to do is tell him, you do this right here, the people will love you. They're lying to him. I think he's being told his pose is all of this and that. Yes, he's stuck in affluenza. That's where he's stuck because his temporal lobes is all screwed up. He's in dementia. His body is rotting. That's what I honestly think. I'm not going to, all this whole war and stuff like that. Trump don't know nothing about the Middle East and who's this and who's that. They prepare him what to say, and it's the greatest. That's why he drifts off when he's supposed to be talking about other things. Then he goes and it was like, everybody's just loving this ballroom, Mr. President, because you see when he has the cabinet come around and he sits in the middle seat and they all stand around and go, yes, Mr. President. And when you did this, you've seen those cabinet meetings that they do.
Yeah,
and
they
you
all
did
kiss
this,
his
Mr.
ass.
President. Yeah, then they go to the next person, and Mr. President, you did. All of that is just a show for his done brain. And I can only imagine how they carry on when the cameras is not there. Trump is gone. He's gone.
Yeah, but the dangerous part is that he's in charge, and what I'm worried about, and I may be tripping a little bit. I'm worried about him having that nuclear weapon in the office.
Me too.
Because the Iraqis, who the hell did we just hit? Iran. Those people are not going. They're not going to give up. These people are religious people, and they're dying because of their God. So they're not going to give up easy. They're going to put soldiers on the ground, and Iran and I don't know whoever their allies is, they're going to attack the America pretty goddamn good. And the United States is going to take a shellacking. I promise you. And then I'm worried about them people sending fucking nuclear weapons to that place over there. And when that happens, y'all, I know we're in America, but there's different countries all over the world that can reach out. They can reach out and touch our ass. So soon as that nuke goes off, you're going to see Washington, D.C. go up. You're going to see the East Coast of America go up. You're going to see all of these places. I don't want to sound like I'm being crazy, but just as soon as that crazy orange motherfucker pushed that button because he's too stupid not to fucking start dropping bombs on people and expect people not to get killed, it's just going to be ugly. So I'm worried about that.
That's it. I'm worried about that as well because I know his brain is gone. He's gone. The Donald Trump we used to know, like we say in America, we used to know is gone. The Donald Trump that we used to see is gone. He's gone. But you know who's helping Iran behind the scenes?
Who that? Russia?
A country that is country that's more powerful than us.
Oh, China.
Yeah, that's their ally.
And you know what? As soon as this guy started this war, I think it was the very next day, he got on stage and asked for a goddamn ceasefire. Donald Trump did.
Yeah, because he realized that they realized, and China sitting up there and you got Saudi Arabia and all them reaching out to China to see if they can get some peace talks. It's too late for them. Y'all went along with that peace group that they start, that y'all pay all that money. Y'all went along with them crazy people that unleashed that mess over there with Iran. And the people who, like some of the citizens and stuff who wanted, because the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, yes, that he was an awful. I don't think anybody should feel bad that he's gone. No one should feel bad that he's gone. But, or even put an ounce of sympathy towards that horror. But those people who was the protesters and all that stuff that was going on, that wanted Trump to come, that wanted to, and they was like, well, then he loves praise. And we all know that because that's what's keeping him going, praise. He loves praise. Y'all sitting up there praising this man for him to come and attack like that. He's not in control of anything. You asking, you don't know who you really asking and what you really asking him to do. And Iran give it their best shot, disrupt, do all they're gonna do. But the truth is, they are not strong enough to overtake the United. They just don't have to overtake the United States without help. And then you will have the United States and Israel will carpet bomb that damn place to death. That's the thing that I hate. But we will be tore up too in the meantime. Trump is not running anything. It's the people behind him that's got all this going. You probably couldn't point out Iran if you pulled up a map of the Middle East. He will not be able to do that. That man's brains are fried. He's gone. And then we got all of this going on, just like Margie Taylor Greene said. He's in the very end of his fourth quarter. Because she said he's in the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. Well, some people fourth quarter can last 24, 25, 30 years. He's at the end of his because he's sick. And then you start up this and unleash this. That's why people were saying Israel, the Netanyahu and them regime and them people, the Zionist regime, they've been wanting this for decades and decades. They don't care who all dies, who all gets killed, or the destruction. They're trying to do hegemony over there with all of the Middle East. That's what they're trying to do, all of the Middle East. And they've been wanting, but no precedent. We haven't had any precedent that was stupid enough to do this. And this was the thing that has always frightened me when I would hear about it, that please don't let them attack Iran. Please don't let this. And you got Huckabee over there with his crazy Christian nationalist fundamentalist ass over there. Did you see the interview between him and Tucker Carlson?
No, but I heard parts of it. And Huckabee, somebody said Huckabee
is
yeah.
Insane. That man is insane. Tucker called all of that biblical stuff, and he was saying, and Tucker Carlson said, okay, he said my Bible information, and he named like that map you showed of all those countries. He's saying so. Christian evangelicals and stuff saying that this should all be theirs. Yeah. He said these are sovereign nations. That's what Tucker said. With people, this is not verbatim, but these are sovereign nations with people who are already there. So you're saying that they should fight and just get it? And Huckabee said yes.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying a while ago when that guy called.
And the look on Tucker Carlson's face was like, this dude is insane.
Yeah, when Megyn Kelly played that Israel guy talking about Turkey is next, that's what I was just saying. Is the Bible says that Israel should have that entire area over there, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran, Turkey, all of that shit should be Israel.
All of it, and that's what Huckabee said. Yes, and he said, but these are sovereign nations with people who are already there, and he questioned him about the Israelis and Netanyahu, that they don't have ties to that land. He was, using his biblical knowledge, and I despise Tucker Carlson, but he was getting it. And who really has ties to that? And Huckabee really couldn't argue it. Well, it's such and such, these people are serious about this thing. And then you got the evangelicals the American evangelicals. Well, let me take that back. The those nationalists, them evangelicals, them Christian nationalists. Those people want this thing because they think it's rightfully theirs, and then once they get it, then the Jews who will bow down to Jesus Christ and those who don't, then we will have the rapture. All of them will go to hell, and that's why the Israelites and the Zionists go along with all of that, and they deal with the evangelicals because it never made sense to me. They want the death of all of you all who don't bow down to Jesus before the rapture. Why would you all? Why? You know why they go along with that? Because they know, excuse my language, they know it's bullshit. But as long as they can get their power and the hegemony over there, they'll go along with it because they know all that the Christian evangelical foolishness is bullshit. That is why the Zionists are in bed with them because they know all that stuff is foolishness.
Yeah,
but
that's what
they will help us to get. They will help us to get the power. That's what it is.
Well, the Zionists, the Zionists is playing these evangelicals because, like you said, the Zionists know that they're but you got a faction of Christians that know that the Jews are full of shit. Like Tucker Carlson, for instance, he knows the Jews are full of shit. Candace Owens,
a lot of them do.
That's why Candace Owens taking her stand because she's a Christian that knows the Jews are full of shit. And then white racists can't stand Jews. Oh,
not Zionists.
Well, they can't stand the Zionists. So
yeah, so they know they full of it, but them diehard evangelicals, that's what they believe. They don't care if the whole world gets taken out because of this mess over here. It's going to bring Jesus, the Christ, is going to return. And everybody who does not bow down to that when they have the rapture, that is what they're waiting for. And it's like you got government and some. I was listening to one of the alternative medias this morning. Some Army general, because I, from my understanding, when you're in the military, there's a hotline that you would know, Tyrone.
Yeah.
If your commander, your commander saying you can report that shit, you can report that. If they seem to be off on the deep end, that's a thing, right?
Well, you can, but I mean, people don't normally report stuff like that.
No, I mean, but if somebody just really off the deep end and they cracked out, is there a way that they can report that? They said it's an anonymous hotline. That if somebody just all messed up.
Well, you can report them. You can report them. And then we had people in our units that had to actually have psychological evaluation. I don't know what due to pressure or whatever, but they were just acting strange, and you have to.
But anyway, they said there was a Army general, colonel, one of them, I think colonel or whatever, when he was talking to the troops, telling them that it might be a ground war, and then he started spewing that evangelical Christianity,
that Armageddon shit.
Yeah. And they said they received hundreds of calls from the servicemen almost. Huh?
I believe it because that's what happened when we went to Desert Storm. I was Christian when I went to Desert Storm, and then we started going into the desert, and everybody talking about how bad it was going to be. I went and found me a goddamn rosary, and I said, well, shit, let me grab this thing. Maybe I ain't going to get blew the fuck up. People actually believe that, especially those guys are vulnerable over there, and then there are probably some that's very religious, and they believe that Armageddon shit. You see what I'm saying? And I don't think that commander should have actually stood up there and told them that, but they told us that too.
That's what he did. Mm-hmm. And those soldiers, it was calling that hotline.
Yeah.
Because this man is speaking Armageddon to them. So that's somebody, as far as I am concerned, that's cracked head out. That you're spewing that stuff to your troops. These people about to lead them to their death. And what was your senator South Carolina never
Lindsey
fails.
Graham, that motherfucker need to be in a cuckoo
Never
house
fails.
himself.
Talking about it's an honor to die in Iran when you're fighting for freedom. Somebody, let me stop.
That should have been disqualifying right there. And I don't know how crazy fucking Christians is, because the return of Christ and all that didn't have shit to do with the United States of America. So these Christians over here, y'all in the wrong part of the goddamn world. The Bible was told in the region that Israel is in. So these damn evangelicals over here thinking that they're going to get raptured and all that kind of shit from the United States, they're just cuckoo. There's something wrong, or they ain't reading their goddamn book.
But I don't know the Bible. Don't get me started. But my understanding of the rapture is that, so you got to be in that part of the country when the rapture
because
starts.
think about the time. Think about the time when all of that stuff was written, right? When everything was written down, where those people are talking about Egypt and all of these places. They didn't have shit.
No, I get that.
It didn't have shit to do. So whenever the Bible is talking about coming to get people, they're talking about coming to get people from that area of the world.
So I thought that when the rapture, my understanding of the rapture, you didn't have to be over in the Middle East. When the rapture starts, that's just going to be the entire planet. That's my understanding.
Well,
when you go.
That's propaganda, because the planet to them was that area of the world. They didn't.
Well, that's all they knew.
Yeah, the planet to them was that area of the world. They didn't know about the United States. They didn't know about, South
Africa.
America and
they
all that.
They didn't know
stuff.
about other places.
Yeah.
They didn't know. They just that was the world.
That was
to
the world.
them.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, and when I got to understanding, I was like, well, why why do the Zionists and them people go along with them evangelical Christians? Because evangelical Christians want a lot of them dead, because they know it's BS. So if we can use this foolishness to get our way, why not? That's the smart, though.
Yeah, they're playing the United States.
Know.
Them people with them tiny hats on, they just running circles around the United States. And then, like you said, what the outcome is going to be is these Iranians that their families got killed and they watch these little children die. They're going to be extremists. They're going to be another Taliban. They're going to be another whatever them extremist group. That's what they created. This shit ain't gonna never end.
That's what they create. That's what they creating, and they continue. And they get the carpet bombing over there.
Yeah, it's the same thing that happened when I went over there. Those people got pissed off. And
they got pissed off.
They became radicalized. Because Marjorie Taylor, she said something that's important. She said their leadership is like 50,000 people deep, right? So there is no head. There's no president, secretary of state, vice president, none of that bullshit where you can just knock them off.
There's no one head you can cut off.
All of those religious leaders over there, they got their own little factions of people, and all of them people gonna get radicalized. Donald Trump is a dumbass.
That's what I was hearing. That country is so big. Even if you could get one faction to stop, you can't get the rest of them to. That's why they did not want that thing. They did not want Iran unleashed on the world, because that is a huge country with what was that, 80, 90 million people?
Yeah, I mean,
unleashed.
I'm not saying that they're going to win against a war with the United States of America. I'm saying that there's going to be a lot of damage from the United States.
There'll be a lot of damage.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have, unless China just come straight out and get on their side, which that's not going to happen because they don't want the world to come to an end. But with just them alone receiving inside help, you can carpet bomb them all you want. They're going to cause a lot of damage. A lot of damage.
Yeah, and if you think that Iran hasn't stocked up munitions from China and Russia or whoever, they're crazy, because of course they build up their military.
And they still get them too, because like this, one of the reports I was listening to, this is some big old Chinese carriers. It went off the radar. I think it was last week. It was over there delivering stuff.
I'm gonna get you on caller, but let me say this right here: the president of the United States lied to America about 7 months ago when they bombed Iran the first time and told us that we didn't have nothing to worry about because they had obliterated Iran's nuclear facilities. That's what the hell they said. Sarge came on here screaming about it and everything. And then that was a fucking lie, because if it was obliterated, why the fuck are we bombing them now? Now, who's this unknown caller?
Oh, this is Miss Lady. I've been listening a few minutes. You know what? I think there's going to be some sleeper cells awakened over here, and there's going to be some repercussions in this country. And we just pissed off all the allies. No one's going to support for us. And I was listening to a couple of other streamers, and they were saying they want to now Israel wants to mess with Turkey, and they want to go into Egypt and some other countries over there. They want to pretty much take over a large part of that area. And you know what? It's going to be never-ending wars because of this. Our country's treasury, that's what it's going to be going for, not to help the citizens in this country, not for health care, dental care, retirement. They're going to probably cut into Social Security, because they've been saying in the future they're going to decrease Social Security checks by about 25 to 30%. It's going to go to this war machine, and it's, our country's going down. There's going to have some real miracles, some spiritual intervention. I'm not kidding, because this is, I think, set up, and they don't care. I keep thinking of that movie Elysium, that came out about 12 years ago with Matt Damon. And when I saw it, I said, this is what's going to happen to the earth if they don't stop it. I would encourage everybody just to see the difference between the 0.1% up there in a space. They have their own, I don't know if it's a space station or whatever, but it looked like the most beautiful area, beautiful kind of planet type living. Like they were living the life with no pollution, wealthy, relaxed. They had a machine, they could heal themselves. And then Earth was like post-dystopia. It was horrible. People were rambling. Did you remember that? When I saw that, I said, oh, this is letting us know what the agenda really is. Really, and how they're building their own bunkers and underground living, putting billions in that, and they want to go and colonize Mars or whatever. I mean, they really want to be separate from the masses of people with all of that wealth. So, but anyway, so if you could do some research about this alleged, there's a guy named Scott Ritter. He's interviewed a lot on YouTube. He was in that Iraqi war. He was a weapons inspector. He's been in the military, and because he refused to lie, he has been targeted. Really targeted. I mean, it's been unbelievable how he's been targeted. But he talks about a lot. He understands about the geoeconomic politics going on. And there's some other ones. So they're talking about this plan to march into or to take over Turkey, or to have some war against Turkey and then Egypt, and I forget the other countries they were talking about. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, when y'all talk about sleeper cells, did y'all hear about that shooting down in Austin, where this
I don't think that was a sleeper cell though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that he was wearing the Iranian flag, and then he had property of Allah over his. He's from Africa. He was from Senegalese. But my point is, because it was Iran, and that's a Muslim. These Muslims all over the world, you know, they try to.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I don't think he was
That's true.
directly. I don't think he was directly connected to that.
I don't think he was directed to do it. I think that was a nut, because the fact that it's Ramadan, and he had property of what is property? What did he have?
Property of Allah
on his. That is a no. And during Ramadan, he had wearing that as his shirt. I think that was a nut, some type of a nut.
Yeah. I lean that way too.
I do believe those cells are all up and through the United States.
But I'm saying
just
like
not him.
I'm saying like
not him though.
I'm saying like this war probably set him off because he was a little off. I think he was a little off, but that's just my opinion. But he seen Iran being attacked, and then because of his faith,
and he did that. Yeah, I agree. But as far as the cells unleashing themselves and stuff, now I do believe that that's true. I do believe we just in a world of muck.
Well, if Donald Trump would have been messing with little children, then Netanyahu wouldn't have that information on him and convinced him to go bomb countries all the damn time. I think that he killed Jeffrey Epstein. I think that Donald Trump is trying to hide stuff. I think they playing him like a damn puppet. Netanyahu is controlling America right now.
Yeah, he got a hold of America. He got it. He got control of it.
Yeah, he told him to go and do that.
Yeah.
I believe it. It's just, and you know, even Marco Rubio, I think, more or less said Israel said to do it.
Yeah, he did. He did say it. We haven't really heard much. But then I heard a report from Adam Mockler, and his stuff seems to be pretty sound. But some information, because I think was not Political, Axios. No, it might have been Political. Axios also did a story on it as well, from what Marco Rubio was saying. And y'all heard that they had set off some of those missiles, and they killed a bunch of Iranians that were together to vote on the next leader. So you know that they killed all of them. I think it was like 50-some people, or how many of it was. And Trump said the people who they were looking at, that he was hoping to step up and take control. And he said, well, all of them was killed. Because Trump confirmed that all of those was killed.
Yeah.
Israel killed all of them.
Yeah. So see, Israel is trying to control who is in charge again. So he knew Donald Trump was going to.
Trump wanted one of them to take over, but Netanyahu got ahead of them, and they kill all them people.
Yep.
So Netanyahu is sidestepping and instepping in front of Trump to do it his way. That's the latest information that was coming out from Political and Axios.
On him, okay. I mean, and I know they plan on building up that Gaza Strip, you know, billions of dollars, you know, for the wealthy. And I know his son-in-law's been over there making a lot of money. But, you know, I think it's beyond the money at this point. I think y'all are right.
Yeah, because, I mean, we don't even talk about the Palestinians no more. Is they gone? I mean, did he get rid of them? I mean, so that dude do a lot of murdering over there.
They still are. Did you hear about that Anthropic company? The CEO is standing up against the Trump regime. They do this AI with like super surveillance and all of this stuff. Yeah, they wanted him to sign this contract where it could be used however they wanted to be used. And he said no, because he doesn't believe in having citizens surveyed like that. And there were some other reasons. And so now they're saying, well, since you won't sign this contract with these terms that we demand, then we won't sign any contracts with you, and if any other company signs contracts with you, the United States will not sign contracts with those companies. And they were saying, like, all of the big tech companies have contracts with Anthropic.
Yeah, that's because Donald Trump administration, they don't give a shit about your rights, because Anthropic was trying to protect people from like secret surveillance from the government and all that kind of shit. And Donald Trump said, hell no, we're going to go with a country that will do this stuff that we want them to do. We're going to go with a country that will use autonomous weapons to kill people. And Anthropic was saying that you got to sign some type of, ethical agreement, so our company won't be responsible for that. And Trump said, hell no. That should worry people there, because this administration is worse than what we thought.
But the thing is, a lot of that stuff probably ain't gonna take. Probably it's not like Gaza, rebuilding Gaza. A lot of that stuff probably is not even gonna come to be, because the fact that it's being reported that Netanyahu is sidestepping Trump now and doing what he wants to do. Like I told you, Tyrone, they ain't using him no more. Netanyahu them kill all them people. He's sidestepping doing what he want to do.
No, he's still got to use them. He still got to use them because he
still has to use him, but he's sidestepping doing what. When they went and kill all them people, Trump wanted one of them, the people that was killed, to take over Iran if they ever get to that point. Netanyahu and them, they set off a missile and kill all of them. He's sidestepping him and doing what he want to do now. So a lot of this stuff is going to take a back seat. Depends on what Netanyahu do.
Yeah, them I don't know, them Zionists or whatever you want to call them, people with tiny hats or whatever you want to call them, those people are corrupt. And
right.
I'm so
they
close.
Dangerous.
Listen, I'm so close to relating it to historical. I'm not going to say it, but those people are corrupt.
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
What's up, ABC?
It's dangerous.
What's up, man?
Nothing. What you got, man?
Well, a couple of things. As far as Trump goes, totally paid off, bought off, and probably blackmailed. You know, when that lady gave him $250 million, that was all she wrote. You knew what the deal was then, $250 million. So he was bought and paid for. But they probably got blackmail on him too. But to the point that you're just talking about, Israel is it. Everything is Israel. And this is where I'm coming from. They control everything. Everybody, Trump and all these other politicians and leaders, they work for Israel.
Yeah.
Because, you know, not because they necessarily just want to. They might, you know, I'm sure some of them do want to. But it's blackmail and being bought off and all that kind of stuff. So they all doing what they saying. And it's greater Israel. And I told you about that when that thing happened on whatever they keep saying, October 7th, that was where it's in the Holocaust. That was some bullshit. They let it happen. It was a reason to start this thing off, kick it off, and then they committed genocide, and now it's just, they full blown. So what y'all said about the technology group, Anthropic or something, that's them. They the ones that's, all that surveillance, it's control. It's like being a control freak, but it's about real control, total control. And, you know, ultimately it's coming to this one world government stuff. Like, that's why the World Health Organization wanted to have everybody sign a treaty and stuff. It's different stuff. It all works together. But this is all that conspiracy stuff that everybody thought was this big joke or something, or, you know, everybody's way out there.
It's different.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
You ain't gonna never get me to align
party,
with
man.
you. You ain't gonna never get me to align with you and all that crazy shit y'all were talking about with that QAnon shit. No.
Well, no, but it ain't QAnon, man. QAnon, that's what y'all do, and not just you, but that side, to try to play it off and make it sound stupid and stuff. Screw that QAnon stuff. You can't personalize this and say it's Trump or it's Biden. All of them are players in this stuff. It's the Zionists, and it's this idea that this grand idea that these devils have to control the world. And it starts with Israel. Somebody said something about, I think you mentioned Tyrone, and you're right, about biblical and stuff like that. These people are using religion to gather all these Christians and people who are all into that stuff, the Bible and all this stuff, to say, hey, God is on our side. You make sure you bless us. God said you better bless us or you're going to go to hell and all this kind of stuff. So they are siding with this shit, which gives them some cover. And then they got all these Western countries saying, yeah, the rhetoric about the evil Iranians and the evil people doing this and all that kind of bullshit.
Yeah, like the Mike Huckabee.
Between the both of those things,
with the Judeo-Christian bullshit. What the fuck is a Judeo-Christian? That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. They're like opposite of each other. The Jews hate the Christian stuff, but they'll use it in a minute. These people don't care about nothing. They got that saying, what, by deception we'll do war or something. So they'll be anybody. They're the changelings and shit. You're a Muslim? Okay, I'm a Muslim. You're a Christian? I'll be a Christian. A Buddhist? I'll be a Buddhist. It's whatever. They get behind the scenes, they get inside, and then they infect it like a virus and shit. That's how this stuff happens.
Yeah, they're fucking crazy. They psycho because they actually believe in Israel that somehow another Armageddon is supposed to happen and the rapture is supposed to happen over there. And in order for this to happen, they got to take all of this land back. See, they got to set the conditions of the Bible. And all of that land, Turkey, Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Libya, all that shit belongs to the Jews, according to them. And they got to take all of that shit before, all of this rapture shit happen, which is stupid. It's dumb. But that's what the hell they fighting for.
No, I'm with you. The only thing I differ with is that's the play. And that's what's being said. And I think that's what they're using. But ultimately, this place is the synagogue of Satan. That's what it is. And they're using that to tell all the Christians that, hey, this is what God has ordained and all that kind of stuff. But as they gain the power, they ain't trying to blow up Israel. No. That's their home place over there. They're going to hold on to that shit. They'll just keep starting wars all over the place and screwing everybody else up and shit. And then there's this whole other thing that's going on where the eugenics and stuff, where these people are trying to get rid of people on earth, which doesn't necessarily play into the Bible thing. But I'm saying this is a bigger agenda. It's just about major control over all this stuff. They want all the resources. And then remember, these people are communists. They're the ones that start all that communist stuff. So when they get this one world thing, then all that capitalism shit goes out the way, and they have control through all this technology. Money is digital and shit. And then it's like, go to work your 40 hours, or you won't get your credits, which is just enough to minimum wage and shit. And then if you causing any problems, we just cut off your money, or, these people are crazy, man. It's the devil is what I say, synagogue of Satan. But surprisingly, Tyrone, I agree with most of what you was talking about tonight.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, but you ain't gonna agree with this. I want you to notice what they all have in common is that they all white. All of this is white people doing this. You don't see no Africans doing this shit. You don't see no Africans.
I ain't got no problem with that. I ain't got no problem with what you say.
Every damn one of them. That's how savage these people is.
But I tell you though, these people are, they got blacks or Chinese and everybody. They got people from all places on their side, but the ones that's out there, and actually I don't know, at the very top, who knows? The devil is there at the very top. But the ones we see doing all this evil on earth is,
well, if you got Asian Christians, there's something wrong with that. And listen. I'm not talking about y'all Christians, you heavy Christians, but Asia grew up in another whole mindset when it comes to deities and stuff, So
right.
The Asian Christians,
Africa did too.
Yeah, the Asian Christians, they're a little off of their rocker. They ain't embracing their heritage or whatever the fuck. But you can be Christian and Asian. I'm not saying that you can't, but you're right. There's different races in there, but the majority of people that's running this stuff, that's dropping the bombs, that got their finger on the button, those are white people.
I agree with you.
The ones that stealing the money, Elon Musk, the Trumps, the Addisons, all of them people are white. All the ones that's got all the money.
And they Democrats and they Republicans and they independents. They, like I said, they're changelings. They'll get in on everything. They got, what they call it, neocons, and then it's neoliberals. And on top of that, and this is where you don't want to go, they the ones that bring all this gay, transgender, upside down shit. It's confusion, pornography. These people spread all this chaos and disease and shit to weaken people mentally, spiritually, and physically. So, you ain't gonna have no choice but to bow down to them. That's what they about. It's
this
control is all it is.
this conversation didn't have nothing to do with gay or transgender. But
Well, I'm saying when you joining your team and it's the Republicans, it's the conservatives, nigga, it's the left, it's the liberals, it's the Democrats too. You know, they on all sides. So
Well,
that's
name
why
me-
I was screaming about
name me-
actually in my
name
hold
me a
on, my
Democrat.
last show. I was saying the same shit, and I kind of went off. Sorry about that, East Coast. I went off on East Coast some about it because he's too old to be playing that game. But my whole point is that, man, that left-right stuff is played out.
Y'all
Anybody
the
still
one.
doing that
Y'all
is
the
a
one.
dummy.
Listen, motherfucker. Y'all the one that put the left-right shit front center. This is you. This was you the whole goddamn time Trump was running, the whole time doing COVID. You was this left-right shit. Now all of a sudden, when the right look like they're corrupt, they're fucking pedophiles, they're dropping bombs, they're starting wars. Now you want to say the left-right shit is not relevant. That was you. That was you. So it's the right.
Okay.
It is the right that is the pedophiles. It's the right that is dropping bombs. It's the right that is stealing money. Look, they just fucking goddamn fired Christy Gnomes for taking $100 million of taxpayer monies for her own purposes. This just happened either today or yesterday. That's the right. That's the right. Now, I'm not saying that
agree
you don't
with-
have any Democrat that's corrupt. I mean, we've seen plenty of them. There's a
Thank
lot
you.
of.
Thank
One of them just went to jail. I
So
think.
quit saying it's the right. It's both of them.
Who's in charge right now, though? Can we stay there?
Right now, yeah, right now Trump's in charge.
Okay,
in the
so all
Republic.
of this shit is happening on his goddamn watch.
No, I
Every damn
accept
bit of
that.
it.
I'm good with it.
Killing
But
people in the
I'm
street,
saying,
taking away our
well,
rights,
how
taking away our
long?
freedom of speech.
How long we been on TRS doing this? 10 years or something. All you do is the left. We got to vote Democrat. We got to vote Democrat. We got nigga, and they didn't. They are as responsible for as much of this stuff as the right.
No,
That's
they're
a
not.
lie.
I know
That's
what
a lie.
it's like right now, but our families are all screwed up.
Listen.
Abortions are out there. All this stuff came from the left. All this,
Listen.
again, the transgender, the gay
there you
stuff,
go
and all
with
this. And you just talked about money, stealing all this money. Shit, we see it right now that in Minnesota stuff, that Leering Center, the instead of Learning
Okay, I'll
Center,
give
the
you an
Leering
example.
Center.
I'll give you an example. You was running around here talking about the left is taking away your freedom of speech. Your left is causing all this shit
Yeah.
on social media. Your left, the left, the left. That's what you were saying with no evidence. You were saying Joe Biden was taking away freedom of speech. Donald Trump
It was
literally
COVID.
locked up a goddamn reporter. Freedom of speech. Donald Trump literally, and the Jews are literally kicking people off of fucking social media. Freedom of speech. They're doing it.
Right.
They're writing laws. So the left did not do that shit, ABC. Donald Trump is telling people
Tyrone.
on social media that they can't say nothing against him. That's it. They're taking away
We
freedom of
just
speech.
went through this with COVID. They stopped everybody. They wouldn't let stuff go up
No,
on,
they
on,
did
the, on
not.
the internet.
No, they did not. They didn't fuck with your speech on
Okay,
COVID.
so now you're gonna rewrite history.
I'm
Look,
telling
man,
you,
I'm
the-
saying
the-
this,
what you was calling freedom of speech of Dr. Fauci and the CDC putting out advice that was helping the goddamn community, and then when somebody said something stupid like you should take horse goddamn pills, they was telling you not to say that shit. That's what the fuck they was doing, ABC. God damn.
Man,
Who's
they
this
didn't have
unknown caller?
hearings on this stuff.
Who line I just opened?
Yeah. Yeah, hello, yeah.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
ABC sounds like actually turned on because he's getting to name all his conspiracies. You hear it in his voice? This nigga sound like he excited, man.
Well, he's
Like
trying
he
to
done
he's
some-
trying to merge
a
he's trying to
conspiracy
merge everything
Viagra.
together. You can't merge all that together.
Oh, I
You
know.
just can't.
Conspiracy
I know.
Viagra.
Yeah. See, Viagra, this nigga over there, hard as a rock, man. But yeah. Yes, you know, the aliens, man, the Jews gonna cause aliens to come
Hey,
here.
but let's
Man,
not take it
come
off on a
man.
tangent. Let's stick with the realness. The world is going to hell in a handbasket, and both sides are responsible.
How so? How so? How so than any other time?
Okay, because World War III is about to come. We are actually in Iran. What did he say? It was going to be, a couple days. Then it was now it's supposed to be a few weeks. Just like this shit.
The last they said it was supposed to be until September. That's what I heard right before it is.
Now September. It's all in a few days. It went from a few days to now since September. What is that? We only in March right now. So months away. And you know, we know that that's all bullshit. And this is what I'm saying, greater Israel. So now what they've done, this is what these Israelis done. The whole thing where they didn't genocided these Palestinians, and Trump said, yeah, they just need to leave. There's nothing left. You know, we can make it a nice place. We put up some hotels, all this stupid shit. But so that's one part. He just said we're going to be invested over there and stay over there. Now this has pulled us in for good. And the shit ain't going to stop. I was going to talk about this on my show. I don't know if y'all heard that, who's it, Saudi Arabia and Bahrain, or one of them. It was two countries. They found, they caught some Mossad agents trying to set up a bomb and shit. And Saudi Arabia is supposed to be with us. But what they doing is they just going to keep creating chaos to justify us being over there to help protect, and we got to do this or that. So we ain't leaving. And we going to die over there. we going to do all this stuff to build up greater Israel, which is what it's all about.
Yeah, but you know, realistically, the Saudis are no better. You know,
none of them are any
wants
good.
everybody to fight for it. Yeah, the Saudis don't want to get their hands dirty. They're a kingdom. They want everybody else to get their hands dirty to keep them in power. So I mean, you know, when you talk about this stuff, you know, you have to step away from this anti-Israel thing. And again, you know, they have a big hand in it, but so does everybody else over there too. And number two, look, there's no World War III here yet. We ain't even close to it yet. All right. Now, if they keep messing with China's oil, we might get plunged into World War III. But right now, as it stands right now, not Iran supplies China, as does Venezuela and other places.
Right.
China does not produce oil on its own. They have to get it from other places. If you cut off the ability for China to get oil, then you might see a World War III, because
that's what I'm saying.
They need it for their country to survive. You know, if you cut off everybody's trade and people start hurting, you might see a World War III. But right now,
so what about this, Joe? What about this, Joe? We already took control of Venezuela stuff. Now we over there in Iran. Like, we got to fight them. We're going to do this. You think we ain't going to take control of their oil?
In Iran? No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Because
we'll see what happens.
You don't control
I think we are. I think that's part of it.
Dude, do you?
Well, I think it's kindling. I think this is a tinderbox right now. So
that's what I'm saying.
And we got a crazy motherfucker in the White House that is doing fucking Israel's bidding. So
thank you for saying that, because I was gonna say he ain't calling the shots. Israel's calling the shots, and they ain't letting us leave.
Yeah, but I think you need to understand a little more about Iran as opposed to the other Arab states. You know, Iranis are Persians. They're not Bedouin tribesmen. They're Persians, and they've had their culture and been together for a long, long time. I don't think people give Iran the credit.
Well, what's the point with that? What point are you trying to make with it?
Yeah. The point being, again, is when you talk about the Middle East and you talk about the other Arab states, those other Arab states have something in common with each other that is not in common with Iran. And so it's a separate entity. You're not going to just take over that country and get what you want out of them. It ain't going to work that way. You know, you have two forms of government there. You have a secular and you have a religious, all right? They took out the religious, but the secular still exists. And so as long as they exist, you're not going to take over that country.
Well, they didn't take out the religious. They just took out the
Ayatollah.
Yeah, that's
He's the religious leader.
Yeah,
but they got other religious leaders.
Listen, did you hear what Marjorie Taylor Greene said? Is that even though they took out the Ayatollah, their heads of religious is like 50,000 people deep. So if you take out the Ayatollah, he has a son, and they got somebody else. You're not gonna take out the head of their religion. I think they learned from past lessons that they had to spread that shit out. So that religion ain't gonna go nowhere no time soon, no matter if that fucker's dead or not.
Thank you.
Hey, what they did, hold on. What they did
right
the other week when Donald Trump lied to them people was those secular people, or whoever you talking about. Donald Trump Iran killed 30,000 of them motherfuckers, and Donald Trump left them out there strangling. It ain't funny, but those secular people, they can't rise up like that.
You know what it comes down to
Iran has a president, and they have that Ayatollah, and those are two separate groups. And so the religious group, controls the Revolutionary Guard, but the secular group, the non-religious group, controls the other army. They have two armies, right? You have the Revolutionary Guard, and you have the IRGC, which is like the internal. How do I put it? It's hard to describe, but they're two separate groups, and so that's a government that's run both by religion and by a non-religious rule. They took out the religious guy.
Hold on, Joe. So the Ayatollah is the reason we went over there, because we said he was evil and all that stuff, and we bombed him. The other thing is they keep talking about Iran's trying to make nuclear stuff. So the fact of the matter is that we have bombed them already, and now we over there bombing them and doing this stuff and getting other countries to join in on it. So regardless of them having two types of government or some military and president and all this kind of stuff, regardless of any of that stuff, now we over there and we bombing them. So what's the difference? I mean, the fact of the matter is we over there fucking with their country, and if you're a citizen of that country, whether you down with the religious side of it or the secular side, you getting bombed, and it's about us against them type of stuff. So all that other stuff, like when Tyrone was asking you, so what does that mean? The point is that regardless of those facts that you're given, the bottom line is that the West is over there bombing and going after these Iranian people. And the people there, all you can do is be like, hey, we in this together. We got to do something to fight back and shit. It's I'm going to say this last thing. I'm going to mute myself and just listen. But like Tyrone said, at the very least, it's a tinderbox. But I think that it's a much higher chance that this shit's going to go way left. And, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's a tinderbox, but I think the tinderbox is not so much Iran, it's Turkey. And if Turkey gets involved, then shit's going to hit the fan, because Turkey's a NATO member. And so what would the U.S. do then? How do you attack a NATO member? That's the questions y'all need to be asking. Like, what the fuck?
Ain't that video that Tyrone played that guy said they need to go after Turkey? That's the Jewish guy,
right?
Too.
Yeah, Israel said that they need to go after Turkey.
That creates a serious problem for the U.S. If the U.S. was to attack a fellow NATO member, do you realize the havoc it will cause on the world stage?
Well, Donald Trump is getting led around by the nose, but from Israel, and if Netanyahu tell that man to do something, he gonna say hi. And I believe because Netanyahu has damn pedophile information on Donald Trump. That's just my opinion. I don't know if it's true or not, but I think they got information on that guy. I think that's why Jeffrey Epstein died, because they got information on that guy.
Yeah, but the other thing to keep in mind too is that Strait of Hormuz. I was just reading an article the other day. A lot of people don't understand what the issue is there. Is the issue is that as long as Iran threatens to attack a ship, no one will insure ships that pass through there. And if no one is insuring those ships, no ships will pass through, because they need insurance to pass through those areas just in case something goes wrong. So that way the shipping companies are not held responsible for the cost of moving those goods. So as long as there's no insurance, they won't be able to do it.
Well, Iran controlled that area, the Strait of Hormuz now, because Iran is fighting the United States, and Iran got them ships held up, and the United States is the one that's supposed to be running to the defense of these motherfuckers. And our NATO allies, they're not feeling this shit. They really aren't trying to run over there and do anything. Not that I know. You might know something different. No,
they can't. Yeah, these shipping companies can't get insurance to go down here, so they're not going to send their ships down here. Mm-hmm. I mean, would you risk driving a car to a war zone if you knew that you would lose your car and everything in it if something happened? Because the insurance company say no. Yeah, so that's a problem. But also too, something ABC needs to keep in mind. They've been saying that Iran is 2 weeks away from a nuclear device for the last 30 years? Yeah. I Yeah, you know, I mean, come on, man. You know, how long are we going to keep up that kind
Yeah,
of
but
lie?
we over there
You know, I
now, Joe.
remember.
That's the difference.
Well, yeah,
We over there now.
somebody
Yeah, I
made
remember
a
Bill Clinton.
somebody made a clip of Netanyahu over the past, I don't know if it was 30 years or not, but every president, that man said Iran was 2 weeks away from a nuclear weapon. And this was going on for 30
They were
years.
saying that since
I seen
Bill
that.
Clinton. Yeah, you know.
Every president, he said 2 weeks away, they're about to come up with a nuclear weapon. All of this time, they haven't had a nuclear weapon. And Iran was telling people, we don't want a damn nuclear weapon. We just need nuclear energy for energy. Excuse me. So Netanyahu,
So we over there now. We over there, yeah, and we over there bombing them, and for the same reasons that they've been saying that they are gonna do a nuclear weapon for all these years. Man, oh man, you know. So there it is. Here we are. You know. So the question becomes, what now? You know. Well, what now? Midterms, baby. This is why they have midterms. This is why Trump is trying to push the clock to get everything he needs to get done before the midterms come in place. Because once they come in, he's going to be beholden to a different Congress. He's going to be beholden to maybe a different Senate. And once that happens, all of this shit will probably end. You know, there's a good chance, should say. I don't want to, you know, go on record and say definitely, but there's a damn good chance. So he's racing the clock here. And it's going to get probably crazier as we get closer to the midterms.
I keep trying to get off here saying I'm stopping. Yeah, I'm grabbing something to eat, but you're wrong again. Again, you're acting like they're in charge, like Trump's in charge. It don't matter what happens in November. He can lose everything. They still gonna do what they're doing because they ain't running shit. Israel's running everything.
I hear you, man. Israel and the aliens. I hear you, man. Next, you're going to say Israel's controlling the weather, too, right? Is that why we got rain in New York now?
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted to do it.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb.
Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade.
Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
And over that time, y'all seen it from 1995 to 2018. This man been saying Iran's got a nuclear bomb and 2 days away, 2 weeks away from having a nuclear bomb. And there's only one goddamn idiot president that fell for this bullshit that Netanyahu is spitting for the goddamn Zionists. And that was stupid ass Donald Trump. Donald Trump fell for this bullshit that Netanyahu fear mongering about Iran having a nuclear goddamn weapon.
Well, they had to wait till they got a president that was completely compromised to fall for it, Tyrone.
Yeah, and
they got their wish. They got their wish.
They got,
and then
they
kind of They got their wish, and then they pile up all this money to make sure he get reelected. But I mean, you take like Joe Biden. Now, he wasn't an idiot, but Joe Biden had confessed many times that he was a Zionist too.
Oh, Joe Biden did?
Yeah, I send you the video.
Well, see, listen, you got Christians.
Well, I'll read it to you. So you got both sides.
Well, no,
that's what I'm getting ready to say. He wasn't a. Go ahead.
You got Christians that are buddy up to the Jews, but then you got these extreme people like Mike Huckabee that would do anything for the Jews. So.
Oh yeah.
So that's probably what Biden was, even because he was a Catholic.
He was because he's Catholic. So yes, Joe Biden has frequently and publicly identified himself as a Zionist throughout his political career, stating that one does not need to be Jewish to be a Zionist. He defines Zionism as supporting Israel as a safe haven for Jewish people, rooted in a long-term support for the country. Key details regarding Biden's self-identification as a Zionist. The definition, Biden has explained his Zionism as believing in the necessity of Israel as a safe haven. Public statement. He has reiterated that his stance multiple times, including at the White House Hanukkah reception in December 2024. Support for Israel. This identification is tied to the consistent support of Israel, particularly following October 7, 2023 attacks, where he reaffirmed his commitment to the nation. Context. His comment emphasized that he views the connection between the United States and Israel as strong and enduring. But his Zionism is not Mike Huckabee. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
it's levels to it.
Well, see, Israel has bastardized the Zionists and turned it into extremism. Because if you look it up, it says Zionist is a supporter of Zionism, an ideology movement advocating for the self-determination and establish a protection of Jewish nation. There ain't nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with that. And
nothing wrong with that.
But whenever you start saying that you're a Zionist and you have to stand with the Jews and everything you say is anti-Semitic and we're gonna bomb these people because this is our land. That's that extremist stuff.
Extremist. It has turned into extremism. And that is what Netanyahu and a lot of his followers and some of them are. They're extremists with it.
Yeah.
Because it's not supposed to mean that. So Joe Biden's Zionism is not Mike Huckabee's Zionism. So it's levels to it. Levels to it. It has turned to extremism.
I got two callers' lines that I just opened. Who's on the line?
Your worst nightmare gonna set your ass straight.
How you doing, Sarge? Who's this other caller?
Yeah, it's me again. Yeah, I some reason the call went dead. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah. You know, it
I was going to
happens.
ask
And listen, let me just say this. I haven't
Yeah.
made this announcement in a long time. If y'all drop off the line, that's not me. I don't know what it is about free conference call, but just call back in.
Oh.
But
Yeah, I
Joe,
was going to ask Alicia, is she talking about Joe Biden from the Biden crime family? Remember that one?
Yeah, that crime family, yes.
But Sarge, what's up, man?
So-
How you doing?
Well, I'm doing great, man. I ain't got no problem with what's going on at all overly much. I'm adopting a wait-and-see attitude. I'm not enthusiastic about this shit in Iran, but I'm not like you guys who are making categorical statements with little to no evidence. So I'm going to take a wait-and-see and see what happens. But I'm going to say this, and I know your standard response is going to be, no matter what the Trump administration says, they're lying. That's your standard response to anything you cannot effectively counter. But I'm going to acquaint you with this fact. Whether it is a lie or not, I would like to acquaint you with it. You decide what you want to do with it. Now, Steve Witkoff is the United States Special Envoy to the Middle East. This is what he said. Now, I wasn't in the meeting with him, so I don't know if it's true or not. You are going to tell me that you know what it is, so you just go and tell me what you think it is, because you always seem to know. But this is what he said. He said in that meeting he had with Iranian officials a month ago, that they claim they had 460 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium that would be enough to make 11 nuclear warheads. In fact, he said that they boasted to them that they could control those 460 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium, and that they are aware they can make 11 nuclear bombs, and up until now, they've been able to avoid the protocols that were part of the fake-ass Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action that bastard Obama set up when he financed the whole goddamn Iranian nuclear program with the pallets of cash in the middle of the night. Now, you make of it what you will. I know you're not going to believe him because that's your standard reply. Be my guest. I'm telling you, that's what he said, and I have reason to believe, more likely than not, it's probably true, or at least mostly true.
Okay, so
Tyrone,
Steve,
I know you about to get Tyrone. Wait a minute before you, because I know you're ready to get into that. Let me just say, if I would bet, let me pick up. I bet my car that's a lie. Go ahead, Tyrone.
So you said Steve Witkoff said that 4 months ago?
See, like I said, right away, you just say it's a lie. The man is a
Yeah, I
special
believe
envoy
it's a
to the
lie.
Middle East. He negotiated
I believe it's a
with
lie.
these people.
I believe it's a lie.
Here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say. He could be lying, but you assert he definitely is. It's just between you and me.
Yes.
I recognize
Yes, because they all lie.
Anybody can
You
lie.
wanna-
The thing
Okay,
about you is, though, you insist it is so with no evidence that it is. You just say it's
Okay,
a lie.
Tyrone, can I say something?
Yeah, you can say so.
You want to know why I'm saying it's a lie, and I believe it's a lie? Because that's all they have done is lie. Trump stood up on many stages, and I'll just tell you one stupid lie that he told why anything they say, I do not believe. And people are stupid to believe anything that they say. That middle school children were going to school and doing lunch, they were getting on transgenderism operations in school. That was a big, fat lie. And anybody who would tell a lie, a grown-ass man who would tell that type of a stupid lie, I don't believe if you told me
And
that
you know
the
it's a lie.
sky
You
is
just
blue.
asserting it's a lie. Well, be my guest.
It's a lie.
I don't
It's
think
a lie.
you know any
Yeah.
more than I do.
It's a lie. Anybody that would call that kind of a lie is a liar, is a dummy, and is an idiot. Yes, it's a lie. They lie about everything. They lie. Trump claimed he won the election. Trump lied about winning the election. The crack-in. They lied that the crack-in. He lied about winning the election. He lied about winning 8 wars. I'll be here all day.
Just keep repeating it.
All right,
I'll be here all day stating all the lies.
Can't have a conversation.
Well, hold on for a second. Wait a minute, hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. You said Steve Witkoff said, I think he hung up, but he said Steve Witkoff said that 4 months ago. Well, in June, this is what Donald Trump said. He said Steve Witkoff said that they had enough uranium to make a nuclear weapon or whatever. I'm paraphrasing, but this is what Donald Trump said in June.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier.
Now, somebody lying. Now, either in June, Trump said that it was obliterated, and Sarge just came on here and said 4 months ago, Steve Witkoff said that they still had uranium. It was somebody lying, or you just fucking confused, just like you've always been. Sarge.
And can I add? Mark Rubio said, hold on, what was that you said? What was that last month? Secretary of State Mark Rubio, when he was pressed about that, this is what he said. Let me pull it up. Go ahead, Tyrone. Let me.
Well, yeah.
And
go ahead, Joe.
And something to think about, Tyrone, is only this administration will have a guy call into a show and say something is mostly true and try to pass that off as not a lie. Look, if I'm telling you something that's mostly true, that means that it's a fucking lie.
Yeah, the truth don't have no wiggle room. It's either all true or it's not. Yeah, you're right about that.
Yes.
But yeah, see, this is the problem.
Last month, Marco Rubio addressed that, this very same thing, and then he coming on here. That's what I said. It's a lie. It's a lie.
Yeah, I mean, these guys will stand up and try to validate and confirm whatever Donald Trump says. And that's the sad part about it, is Donald Trump is a known liar. Donald Trump has a history of fucking lying. Even in the White House, he lies. He lies about everything. There is not a time that even running for president, Donald Trump just lied on the campaign trail. What was that thing? Let me play that damn. Hold on.
Did you see 60 Minutes last week when they investigated the so-called genocide of white farmers and found out that wasn't true either?
I mean, he's a liar. He's a liar, and he lied about this war. And on the campaign trail, he said this shit.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
See, that's a blatant lie. I know it's a funny lie, but it's a lie nonetheless.
But it's a blatant lie.
Yeah,
it's a blatant lie. Like the school kids why are we getting knee deep into what was said last month about Iran's capability? Why we need to talk about what somebody said 3 months ago about Iran's capability, and that there was no imminent danger when somebody tells somebody eating cats and dogs, and somebody said that middle school children are getting transgenderism surgery at lunch. I'm not even going to entertain nothing they say.
Yeah, because he's just trying to use that to validate Donald Trump's actions. And I mean, you can see right through it. I mean, he's clear what Sarge be doing. He just come on here and say Steve Witkoff said they had uranium 4 months ago, and that gave him reason to strike. Yeah, that's just dumb. Yeah. And now he talking about Obama. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Hold on. President Obama had this deal with Iran, where Iran was drawing down its nuclear program, and they had, I don't know what the deal was, but it was working, is my point. Donald Trump came into office, and that's the first thing he fucking did. So if Iran is a problem, it's because that motherfucker came into office in his first administration and tore up the goddamn deal that the United States had with Iran. If uranium and nuclear weapons is a scare to Netanyahu and Donald Trump, it's because Donald Trump tore up the goddamn agreement that they had with Iran. So you need to start there. Iran wasn't a threat. There was a deal with the United States and Iran, and everything was going just fine until that motherfucker got in the office. Talk about that shit, Sarge. I mean, this is the reason that it's just stupid. These people dumb. You talk about the Obama pallets of cash or whatever. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah. No, he's talking about the money that Obama unfroze. Remember, Obama said to them, "Hey, look, if you don't,
you already know that. Then
we're gonna unfreeze your cash."
It was their money. It was their money any damn way.
Yeah, I know.
Right. But go ahead, Alicia.
Oh, did she drop off?
I don't know. It's been acting weird all night. But I was sticking a stake in the vampire. Let me just salt the grave a little bit. I was getting on Sarge's case earlier saying that Donald Trump's Department of Justice can't even convict a guy who threw a sandwich at an ICE agent. I mean, he is so inept. You know, I mean, because
Well,
I remember Sarge coming
they
on.
could have got him. They could have got him on some charges, but Janine Pirro tried to overcharge that man. If they would have got him with like simple assault or something like that, they could have easily got that. But they tried to overcharge that man.
But I was messing with Sarge because he gets on here. Because remember, Sarge came on and said they caught Obama doing treason and he was about to go down. Then it was the 6 representatives who made that commercial. Oh, they're about to get convicted and all. They haven't convicted anybody, Sarge.
Well, as a matter of fact, they took him to court, and the court found out that those representatives didn't do shit wrong, didn't do a damn thing wrong.
So it just seems to be a never-ending cycle of Sarge.
There was a decision
to come out, and it never does.
There was a decision about the auto pen that came out. I couldn't believe that they actually took that shit to court. There was a decision about the auto pen where they said Joe Biden was using they threw that shit out of court. Let me see if this is in the headlines. Yeah. Oh, here it goes. Justice Department under pressure from Trump fails to build an auto pen case. They can't build, so they threw that shit out. So these people just lie constantly. They constantly make up shit.
Well, that's why I said the Biden crime family. Remember, James Comer had that big congressional thing talking about they're gonna get to the root of the Biden crime family. Never happened.
And then
it just seems like there's a long string of goose eggs on Sarge's side.
Yeah.
They haven't convicted anybody of anything.
No, and then they made the Clintons the fucking devil, and they just had the Clintons in there for deposition. And I said last week that the Clinton was gonna run circles around them people. Even if Bill Clinton was guilty, those people are so fucking dumb, and the Clintons are on a much higher level of intelligence that they ran circles around them people. Bill Clinton was on that goddamn island. God damn it. Bill Clinton was on that island. He was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know how the fuck they couldn't connect Bill Clinton to these goddamn young girls. But they stupid. They dumb.
Oh, they got a picture of Bill Clinton in the hot tub. Did you see that picture of Bill Clinton in Epstein's hot tub?
Yeah, but he was in the hot tub with an adult. He was in the hot tub with an adult. But I mean, I don't know. These people are just dumb. And Hillary Clinton, I hate that. I don't hate her, but I don't like Hillary Clinton. But she ran circles around that goddamn, them people in that goddamn meeting.
Hey, Tyrone.
Go ahead.
Hey, when was the last time any of these politicians were prosecuted and got, arrested or
there was a
whatever?
Democrat that just went to jail. What was that dude name?
Yeah, the dude from Jersey.
Yeah.
That was taking the cash bribes. Yeah, he went to jail. And I think his wife went to jail too. So this happens all the time, man. They convict people all the time. Yeah, they convict these guys all the time.
The reason I said that is because of like what you guys were saying, how none of this stuff has happened. None of these people have gone to jail. Nothing. The same thing with when Biden was in there, and they kept going at Trump, but nothing happens from it. And my belief is that ain't nothing gonna happen because they all part of the same. I ain't saying they like each other, but their bosses don't want this stuff to spill out. They don't want to reveal what they're doing, so they go behind closed doors.
Senator Bob Menendez, that's who just went to jail.
Oh yeah.
Bob
I remember
Menendez,
that. Yeah.
But that's not true, ABC, because there's a number of people that have been running cover for Trump that have gone to jail and have been taken out of office and have had their credentials.
Al Frank, the Democrats,
Judge Cannon.
The Democrats will cut your ass loose quick as shit. You ain't finna fucking break no blatant law with the Democrats and them not say nothing. But the Republicans will. The Republicans, just like Christine Nome, she just stole $100 million of taxpayer money. She just did that today. She just admitted that she took $100 million, and there ain't shit gonna happen to her because she's a goddamn Republican.
And watch, when the Democrats get in there, let's see if they prosecute her.
They ain't gonna do shit to her.
Absolutely.
That's my point. Ain't none of them gonna do nothing to each other.
Yeah. Judge Cannon just had her office raided by U.S. Marshals. Did you know that?
No.
Yes. Do you know why she had her office raided? For the same reason.
I don't even know who
Trump...
Judge Cannon. Who's Judge Cannon? Which one is that?
Oh, the lady that was
Judge
handling
Cannon
the papers, the secret papers case in Trump
Yeah.
for Florida, Eileen Cannon.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. She just got her office raided, and she got removed from all of her court cases, and she got barred access to the judicial system that they use. The judges use to manage their cases. And do you know why?
No,
Any
just
idea
tell me the
why?
whole thing because I don't know nothing about none of it.
Because the same documents that Trump got in trouble for, she kept in her office. So she is
Okay.
about to go down for having. She got her security clearance revoked too. But for the same stuff that Donald Trump did, she is about to probably get convicted.
And Biden had the same stuff too. Nothing happened to him.
No, he did not.
What
There's
did he
a difference between saying, "Hey, you have something that you're not supposed to have," and them giving it back, and saying, "Hey, you have something that you're not supposed to have," and then not giving it back. She got notice.
Okay.
She got notice from various agencies to return the documents. She let the deadlines pass. She made no effort or attempt to return the documents, so she got raided. So it wasn't the same thing. You're talking apples and oranges here.
No, what I'm saying is like you gave me a judge, and I understand some of these judges. I mean, federal judges or something that you can kind of put that in the same area up there. But when it comes to these policymakers and the president, his cabinet, the congressmen, the senators and stuff, I think these people, they all get caught and they'll use stuff against each other and talk a big game and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes down to it, it ain't too many of them that's really getting like going to jail or nothing or this kind of stuff. Maybe a fine, but it's just the game. It's just
that's not
the
true.
game.
That's not true, bro.
And I'm gonna shut up, but I'm gonna stay stuck on this.
There's
Ain't
some
none of them
legitimacy
running
what
up.
ABC's saying. There's corruption up there, Joe, and they look out for each other. Sometimes
and I think
sometimes
everybody's
people go
aware
to
of that.
jail.
But the
George
thing is,
Santos-
it's because Israel
George
runs
Santos,
that shit.
Oh, Santos.
they locked it. They prosecuted George Santos and put his ass in jail. And guess who commuted his sentence? Trump.
He got a pardon, yeah.
Trump. There you go. Okay. What's that saying? The exception doesn't mean the rule or something like that. And I'm not saying it ain't like never it ain't gonna happen, but come on, man, for real. How many of these people done did some shit and it's all in the news and oh wow, he going down. Just like everybody's talking about Trump was going down when he got out of office last time. I made a big joke of it because it was like every day, hey, did you hear what happened? He going down. Man, ain't nothing happening. Now he's president again and shit. And it ain't a big up at him. I'm just saying the system is so corrupted because they all belong to these Zionist devils. It's the synagogue of Satan. It always comes back to them.
It's partly that. It's partly class. The elite look out for the elite because Elon Musk been breaking the goddamn law ever since he been here, and he ain't been to one courthouse yet. So, hey, what's up, mama's boy?
What up? What up? What up, family?
What's happening?
What's happening?
Boy. Hey, y'all remember Kumo D? He had that one jam. What have I done stuck my dick in? Y'all remember that?
I ain't never heard that shit.
Well, you ain't from the hood either, nigga.
Yeah, you're right about that.
So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, you take your square ass down the block with that square ass shit. You fucking Barry Manilow listening ass nigga. Get the fuck on down the damn street.
But hold on, what's those lyrics again? I don't know what I done stuck my dick in. Yeah, I ain't heard that one before.
Yeah. You don't know Kumo D. I mean, damn. It's Kumo D, man. It's Kumo D.
Yeah. It's all good. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
That's your boy Trump, though. Why you trying to be funny? Yeah. And you know it. That's why you laughing.
Man, Biden's the same way.
I'm sorry. No, let me handle this, Tyrone, because I've been hearing it. It's his go-to move, and it's the most idiotic go-to move. It shows a sign of guilt when you say that. Well, Biden did it too. Nigga, the fact that you got to say somebody else did it shows how stupid you think about it. You know it's ignorance. You know it's dumb. and you don't support it, but you point that somebody else does it, and you think we support that motherfucker. That's what you do. It's the hyper. You got this thought in your head. Well, you support this, so I'm gonna say that they do it too. What if I don't support that motherfucker? You really sound stupid now. Okay. It's an excuse to try to get away from the fact that you have to deal with you been barking and talking shit and loving on somebody like Donald Trump. And you want us to look away from your loving on Donald Trump and look at Biden to defend him when some of us niggas ain't stopped looking at you nestled up to Donald Trump's nuts.
Okay, let me know when you finish so I can say something.
So listen, whataboutism is just that. You put a guilty spotlight on yourself when you say what about, because that shows you got nothing, a big ass sack of it. You can't defend your argument, so you say, well, what about this nigga? What about that motherfucker? What? You want everybody to look away at what your guilt is. So you say, what about somebody else's guilt? Donald Trump has fucked up, bro. He been fucking up. He came into the bitch fucking up. Just because your antennas couldn't pick up his fuckery don't mean that we crazy because we saw it coming. What it actually spells is that you crazy for not listening.
Yeah, he trying to combine
you don't even
all
have
this
to
shit
agree
together.
with it.
He trying to combine it all together, like
right.
Like he
Tyrone,
knew it first.
let him finish so I can say something. I gotta wait till he finishes so I can talk.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's my whole thing of even saying anything in the first place is it's like it's weakness. It's weakness. You're supposed to be criticizing both sides, but you can't criticize both sides while sitting in one side's lap. If you're going to criticize both sides, you probably want to be standing dead smack in the middle of the street. I hear you criticizing the Democrats sitting in the lap of the Republican. So you'll say, oh, yeah, the Republicans got a hangnail, but the Democrats, whole foot about to fall off.
Yeah.
So that's how lopsided you sound. You think you sound even-handed, but we all know you cucking for the Republicans. I see the cuck, and that's what I'll be letting you know. So peace, family. I hope I helped y'all see it too.
All right, ABC.
Okay. All right. There's a couple things. One is I'll say, yeah, I feel more disdain for the left, the Democrats, because 90-something% of us vote with them, we stay with them, we've been with them since the 60s. And we fight against the other side. So everything we doing for these people, all these rewards we gave them, we done voted black people in, we done voted for the white people, as long as he's a Democrat and all that stuff. And then what are we getting for it? So I'm saying we look stupid as fuck to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting the same or expecting a different result, because we keep getting the same result. So to that part, what you're saying, how I give more smoke to the left and the Democrats, all stuff. Yeah, you're right about that. Having said that, though, I've talked about the right, and I've talked about Trump. I said the reason I don't vote for him, this dude is an old white guy born into wealth. Ain't nobody thinking he's looking out for me or the average person. But when he came in, the stuff he was saying when he first got elected and stuff, he's telling the truth. That don't mean he's gonna be a good politician, but it's like, damn. And then when he got in there, he like everybody else. He did his shit. You know, ain't none of them straight up as far as I'm concerned. But as far as I'm concerned, the economy and everything was doing as well as it did under anybody else. And then COVID came, that
last year that screwed everything up. So, you know, I don't think Trump, y'all make him like he's the devil. And I'm saying, he another fucking politician. He ain't, he's better than some, worse than others. So y'all make him this big
I thought he
boogeyman.
wasn't a politician.
When you finish, I'll go ahead.
No, go ahead. That was just a question. I thought he wasn't a politician.
okay.
I thought I heard you say he wasn't a politician.
No, well, maybe you did. I don't know. What I'm saying is this dude, he don't have the background. He wasn't doing all this stuff. He popped up. He was doing that TV show. Then he showed up and started talking, and all the stuff he was saying, it was shit that everybody believed. Plus, it was entertaining. He was talking to the people right to their face. So, in that regard, he wasn't a politician. He wasn't your traditional politician.
Okay.
He was his first job as a political figure was president. What kind of shit is that? All right, so that's the answer to the politician stuff. But the bottom line is that I am more of a conservative. I think that black people are more conservative. We ain't down for all this chaos and crazy shit. And yes, all that gender bullshit and all that stuff. But not only that, all this opening the borders, letting all these people in and all that kind of crazy. It's total chaos with these people. Everybody's accepted. Everything is okay. Don't nobody say this, you know, nobody's feelings get hurt and all shit. That ain't how we are. At least that ain't how we was. But a bunch of us done turned it to that now. This women are more masculine, women or men are all feminine. This is the bullshit that they did. It's that psychology bullshit. And I'm old enough to know that this shit had changed. So to that regard, I lean to the conservative side more, yes. But I call out mostly when I come on and I'm shitting on these Democrats and stuff is number one, like I said, we vote for them all the time and we ain't getting shit. But the other side is that all y'all do is shit on the right and defend the Democrats. When y'all got it 6 nights a week, including Tyrone's show. So I'm giving like some balance to it. All that y'all that said that shit for 6 days. Now let's talk about these dumbass Democrats. And let's talk about the dumb niggas that keep supporting them and defend them and preaching to us that we need to stick with them so that we never change or consider the other side. I don't believe none of this shit. I don't think the shit can be fixed. That's why I keep talking about stay with your families. Get that shit together. Because this politics shit is done. So that's where I'm coming from. All that stuff you said,
let me ask
you got your opinion.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah,
you
I'll
just
finish
said,
anyway.
you just said we vote for Democrats and don't get nothing. So just to pose that, what do you think black people would get for voting for Republicans?
I don't think you're going to get anything specific for black people at all, period, from anybody. I don't think you're going to get it.
Okay,
period.
so
if
both
we're looking
parties,
for that, ain't nobody giving it to you.
Okay, so
I
both
think
parties.
you vote for, just hold on, let me just finish.
Go ahead.
I think you vote your values. So if you down for, hey, look, people are people. If you know the gay and all this stuff, and everybody rights and all stuff. If you down for that, then you stay with the Democrats. If you say, what the fuck, that's some bullshit, you go with the Republicans, and that's one issue. But we can go like the issues.
But your
and then
argument
we can say
was
which
black
side
people
to follow.
don't get shit. That was what you said. Black people don't get nothing for vote for Democrats. That's what I'm going off of. That's what you said, right?
Okay, right.
So you saying that you won't get nothing for vote for Republicans either?
No, if you're talking about race, no. If
Okay,
you're talking
so
about your
if you're not
values,
gonna-
yes. If you're talking about your values, yes.
So
Are we talking about
you
values or
get
just
something.
race?
You get something from your values voting for Republicans, and you won't get nothing for your values voting for Democrats. That's your stance.
You're gonna get something either way. But you vote for your values, and if your values are, hey, I believe in the traditional family and none of this chaos stuff and this confusion. We got to talk about a boy can be a girl and all that stuff. If I think all this bullshit and I vote for the Republicans, then that value will be preserved. If I'm the other way and I think people are people and all this stuff and I vote for the Democrats, then I'm gonna get that value.
So
it
the way
depends
you
on
think,
your values.
the way you think, you just set racism on the shelf and not even consider that.
Well, and Tyrone, he also assumed that Democrats only vote for their values and that's it. I guess I don't know. Hey,
Yeah, that's
to
what I'm
me,
trying. That's why I'm asking the
I can
question
tell you
because
what
I
I-
want to get
what
an
I
understanding. So, do you just set racism on the shelf whenever you're talking about politics and voting?
No, I won't say I set it on the shelf, but I'm saying, what is it that we want?
I mean, me wanting to
Who
have.
knows why voters vote?
Well, I know.
Okay,
man,
well, since you
explain
don't
my
set it,
answer.
since you don't set it on
Everybody
the
got their
shelf,
own opinion why you vote.
Just that kind of eliminates Democrats voting their values, right?
yeah, since you don't set it on the shelf,
shut your own shit down.
This is the problem. You ain't voting your values. You voting on race. You see,
You don't know what voters are voting for. You couldn't tell me. You couldn't tell me with no exact precision why Democrats vote the way they do. You can't.
Nobody.
You
can't
can
nobody
assume,
do that.
but you can't be right.
You ain't saying nothing. Can't nobody do that. You can't do it either.
Exactly.
So what's the point?
And you're not equating that in your argument. The fact that you don't really know why black people vote Democrat. You just assuming why you think why they vote Democrat. And that's the crux of your argument. But that argument falls apart if you don't know why black people vote Democrat.
Okay, all right, damn. All right, you ain't saying nothing. Look,
I just broke your argument up. What the fuck you mean I ain't saying nothing?
I'm trying to tell you why you ain't saying nothing. Because we've been doing the same thing for 60 years. And what have you got from it? Did you get what you wanted from it?
right back to what I was asking.
What did you
Tyrone, can I ask him this question? Let me ask.
No, don't ask me nothing.
No, hold on before he jumps in. I'm fixing to answer your question. I'm gonna answer your question. We both gonna answer your question. You come on here every week and profess about your marriage, don't you?
Come on, man. You ain't answering my question.
No.
Why you gotta change the subject? We can get to that
I'm
later.
not changing the subject. I'm using the context of marriage, right? You're married for 50 years. You don't shit on that, do you?
I don't know what you're talking about. Just get to the point.
If a couple is married for 10 years, you celebrate it. Hey, they got a 10-year anniversary, don't they? 25-year, 50-year anniversary. Same shit, right? So what you're saying is black people have voted for Democrats all this long time and got nothing of it. Black people wouldn't still be voting for Democrats if they got nothing. So they must be getting something in this relationship, like a marriage, that marriages get applauded for being together long term and making it the long term. So hold on, I'm not done. You keep okaying like that's it. That's all I'm supposed to say. I still got other things to say. Let me say them, and then let me say what I have to say, and then you get to say what you got to say in rebuttal to it. I'm just basically putting it. You give me a real talk. Let me finish talking.
I gotta get off the line, man.
Hey, then hang up then, but let me finish talking then. Shit, goddamn. If you can't stay on the line, hang up. You ain't got to interrupt me.
You got it. It's your
all right, I got it. Goodbye, nigga. I'm still gonna say what I'm saying. You sound ridiculous for trying to bail out of your marriage just because you didn't get everything that you wanted from the Democrats. But what about this? What if black people want to participate in the vote and they look at the two parties and figure out which one best suits their participation in voting? Why does it have to be the way you say it? Why can't it be that black people want to exercise their right to vote? They look at the two parties and pick the one that best suits their vote, rather than, we've been voting for Democrats all this time and ain't got nothing. Why does it have to be just your way? Because you want it to fit a certain shoe. You want it to fit a certain paradigm the way you want to put it down to diminish what the Democrats mean to black people. You can't make people vote the way you want to vote because you don't like the Democrats. You got to give good reasons. And so far, you've been giving shitty reasons. And that's what we've been telling you. Nigga, say something, because the shit you saying is nothing.
Yeah, see, I don't get it. Because what position like ABC does is forget the history of this country. Recently on social media, when I first got on here, that's when the whole talking points where they were talking down about John Lewis, they were talking down about Martin Luther King, They were talking down about the Civil Rights Party and our past black leaders, Jesse Jackson. They were talking down about all of the black leaders, right? And then that's when the talking points came up about the Democrats don't do nothing for black people, and it kind of stuck. So on social media, he's running around with these talking points that the Democrats don't do nothing for black people. But historically, if it wasn't for the Democrats, the Civil Rights Bill, which is very important, in 1964, 65, something like that, that was the Democrats. And every time the Democrats in office, our income as a black family, since he's concerned about a black family, our income goes up as a black community. And you can look at Donald Trump as the unemployment rate for black people under him shot up, and the wages went down up under Donald Trump. So whenever you talk about what the Democrats do for black people, the Democrats get in there and they fight for policies that is fair for everyone, which means that, you know, we're going to benefit off of it too. And when you talking about Barack Obama, he got in there and he came up with a health care plan that black people are now participating in, that you know Donald Trump is ripping up. And then when you look at Donald Trump's administration, when it comes to the civil rights and stuff like affirmative action, the Republicans are ripping that shit up. So there's a distinct line about what Democrats do for black people that these people don't even consider. They just use those talking points on social media about the Democrats bad for blacks and the Republican, I'm a conservative and my family is conservative. No, that ain't, you voting for some bullshit. You can be conservative and be a goddamn Democrat all day long, but you don't have to be politically conservative and vote for fucking racists, because they wear that shit on their chest. They will fly the goddamn swastika. They will fly the fucking rebel flag. They will tell you they love Hitler on the Republican side. And you're telling black people that they shouldn't participate on the Democrat side and they should consider voting. No, you got this shit all fucked up, brother. You really do, because I probably could just Google right now and find out all the shit that the Democrats did by representative for their goddamn community that is black and how it helped them out. But I'm not fitting to do that. But no, if you're black, you need to vote Democrat, period. Has the Democrats been slow about giving black people something politically? Yes, hell yes. I will not say that the Democrats is out there fucking winning a race helping out black people, because they're not. And I'm not even going to sit here and lie and say, but at the same time, you got to be a goddamn fool if you think that the Republican do just as much for the goddamn black community as the Democrats do, because they don't. So it goes back to what I've been saying. If we're serious about politics, then we need to take over the goddamn party. And the only way you're going to take over the party is you got to educate yourself in civics, and so you know about what politics does. And whenever you vote for people, you got to demand that they do shit for your community. We don't do that. We got people on social media like Tariq Nasheed and Umar Johnson, got motherfuckers like ABC running around here talking about the Democrats is a slave plantation and all this kind of bullshit. This is why we fucked up. We ain't fucked up because we are voting Democrats. We're fucked up because we got black men in our community telling our children not to participate. That's why we fucked up. The Black Panther Party was a political party. And listen, they did what the fuck they wanted to do when it came to politics. It wasn't easy, but they fought for it, and they made the politics happen in their area. Now, I don't know what the hell ABC talking about. And a whole bunch of these black people on social media, they doing the same goddamn dumbass shit. Black people don't.
A lot of it, Tyrone, is ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy that you're ignorant in this day and age when all you got to do is use your fingers to find out. And you ain't got to do that. You can hit the little mic and say it. It's that easy to find out. So, like, if you running around stupid, you doing it on purpose. So I look at it like this. If you are civically minded, then you understand that it's your duty to vote. It's not really a choice. And what we hear is jabroni ass niggas thinking voting is a choice. Voting is not a choice, and you can't change anything dealing with politics or civics by not participating.
Exactly.
The way that civics is designed, the only way you change it is with more participation.
That's the key right there.
If you don't want to change it, then you apply less participation. But if you want to have some involvement in what to do, the key to civics is the more, the merrier. So if you can get more people like-minded together to all participate in the vote, you will get what the fuck you looking for. If you don't, you won't. So if you running around here thinking you could take your ball and just go home, that will exclude you from the participation, which means nothing about what you want means a hill of fucking beans, and you chose it because it's your choice. It's you as a citizen, you must vote. You must.
You have to.
You don't have a choice. That's your civic duty. But if you don't know civics, then you don't understand that you have a duty as an American citizen to participate in the voting.
Yeah, and it's catchy.
Mama's boy.
Go ahead.
It's catchy. It's catchy when they say the Democrats ain't did nothing for them, but that's just a talking point. It's not reality. Go ahead, Elisa.
It is time. Can I add something? I know, like the last time when the census was people, it was time for the census, and a lot of black people was like, don't fill out the when they send it to your house, don't fill out. You get the phone calls. Ignore, because we don't want them to know how many of us are here. We don't want we don't want them to find out. They don't need to know. And that was such an old time thing that black folks used to say. And I remember, me included, we were all online trying to explain to the people, you all fuss about how your districts and how your this and that don't get the funding for this, don't get the funding for that. That's because you're not filling out the census. You people are that stupid to don't know that they already know you're here. Were you born in a cabbage patch? They have your birth certificate. They already know you're here. You've got to represent for where you live. I'm here. I have 2 children. This person over here has 3 children. So when they get ready to budget the money, now we're not saying that it's going to be fair. Some areas are going to get more, like the richer areas and things like that. But if you don't put yourself to be counted, your schools and your streets and your things need that money. They already know you're here. What do you mean they don't need to know that we're here? And a lot of people didn't understand. We was like, y'all need to go to civics. They need to teach civics heavy so people will understand how these things work. You're hurting yourself more than you're helping yourself. And they already know you're here. You were born. You have a birth certificate. And when you die, unless somebody hide your body up under the floorboards, they know when you're dead. So it's a lot of our people, they just don't get it. And that's the thing. But the current administration want to keep everybody dumbed down so they can continue to say stupid things like that. They don't fill out the civics because they don't need to know that we're here. They already know you're here.
Yeah, and I understand.
So get yourself counted.
I understand the mistrust of government. I understand the mistrust of this country. But I be hoping people evolve and educate themselves. That's just not happening. They're not educating themselves on how this country function, how politics function. They just not. And then they grow up to be 60 years old like ABC talking about Democrats ain't never did shit for black people. I'm like, yeah, man, you 60, man. Stop saying that. Come on now.
Yeah, but Tyrone, man, this is the thing that ABC just cannot understand, right? While you may find people that subscribe to a different way of life, you may not like it and you may not agree with it. They are citizens too. They have the same rights as citizens as you. And to try and take away those rights, you turn from a democracy into autocracy. If you want a government that regulates morality, there are governments like that in the world, like Iran, that do that. So you can't actively fight against these governments if you want the same thing that they're trying to implement. And it shows, this actually shows you why so many Americans are so comfortable with an autocracy. So many Americans are so comfortable, with a God King president, because in their minds, he is going to regulate the morality of the country, and it's a morality that they happen to agree with. If there was a Muslim president that's doing what Donald Trump was doing it, and say, hey guys, we're going to Sharia law, these dudes would be screaming to holy hell. These dudes would be saying, wait a minute, what about our rights, blah, 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 blah. But they don't realize the government's job is not to regulate or to legislate morality. That's the job of your church. Government's job is to make sure that all of its citizens have an equitable and fair way to participate in the operation of the government. Period. Full stop. That's it.
Yeah, I
so
mean,
you want family values? That's your church's job.
Well, not even that. Not even that. It's in his own house. I mean, you can't bring your family values out into the streets and tell everybody they need to have the same values as your family. Long as you're satisfied up under your rooftop with your family values and your conservative views, and just leave that shit out of politics, you know. But who's this unknown caller?
Mace.
Hey, what's up, Mace?
Oh, I have something to say to that old man called ADD. Now, he always bringing up gay stuff in the Democrats and this and that. In Lindsey Graham and the other one out of Carolina, well, they straight crooked. I mean, wrong and right. They put both of them out as being gay, but he don't say nothing about that. Those are two people.
Well, you right about that. You talking about Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham? Yeah, they kind of. You right.
And Bruce Jenner represents who? Whose party is he representing? And I guess everybody else, cause the only Democrat one is gone. Whatever his name was, I can't even think his name. But it's not about the party. They so
Treasury Secretary too.
They are so into the party that they don't even know what they voting for, and he don't even vote anyway. But he's not important, and he don't. And is he jealous of the East Coast or something?
Is he what?
Because he always talking about him and calling him old and all this stuff. He don't even know who that man is. He could be younger than him for all we know. And I didn't know you could tell somebody age by talking on the phone. They are messed up and they are ashamed for following the wrong crew. And they know it's wrong, and they got to sit back and watch people get killed for no reason. And they can't even admit it. Just like I told George last night, go to listen to Margaret Taylor, what she had to say. He said he didn't know nothing about it. So I'm glad you played it tonight, Tyrone, so he could hear it and won't use it as an
Yeah, because that ain't coming from the left. I mean, it just ain't coming from the left. And it's she's saying the same thing that we've been saying for goddamn years. And like Alicia said earlier, them women already knew that before they took that stance. All of a sudden, they got this bright light on how crazy Trump is.
No, what happened, they was a part of the plan, and they got pushed out. Now they got to find somewhere else to go. Because they keep talking about the Grand Poobah Klansman. He used to be a Democrat, and now he's a Republican. So he got the ways of both of them.
And then Donald Trump is the worst person to put up there as far as family values. As a matter of fact, the whole goddamn Republican Party, the family value, Fox News got all kind of sex scandals over there. Megyn Kelly, all them people got sex scandals. They're not no family values party. And when you say conservatism, is family
got
values.
A sex scandal.
Who?
Christine O got a sex scandal.
Yeah. Her and that dude that she hired and paid him $100 million. When you say conservatism is about family values, they're not about family values at all.
Yeah, but you remember Fanny in Atlanta, but she got planes with beds in it.
I say Lorena Bobbitt.
And like, why she got a bed in a plane?
Yeah, that was Tillis. That was.
Oh yeah, I seen that picture.
That was drilling her ass.
I mean, it was funny. I'm like, a plane and with a bed, and wasting our taxpayer dollars. And then you got them running around a Democrat and a Republican instead of using their head with sense and thinking that he do not control your mind unless you let him.
Yeah, I mean, to me,
what was that girl that was in the damn movie theater?
Her?
Getting it on with her boyfriend.
Oh, Lauren Boebert.
Lauren Boebert. There you go.
Yeah, family values don't exist in conservatism. It just don't. I think black people got more family values than all of these conservatives that they're talking about. Even though, you know, a lot of us is in single family homes, a lot of us in we still got more family values than these people that are on fucking TV, got beds in airplanes and grabbing people penises in theaters. You know, I don't get this whole family value shit. That's just another talking point.
And always harping on the LGBTQ plus IA community. And whenever there's a Republican convention, they blow up Grindr.
Yeah, and they try to tie that to Democrats.
We talk about that.
And when they messing with the pages up there in at the Capitol one.
Yeah, Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson got exposed. Mike Johnson, the House Speaker, got exposed on Grindr.
Yeah.
So you don't know what if you don't know what family values is.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you don't know what family values is, you won't follow people like that because you don't have any yourself.
Yeah, you got to look at it from ABC's point of view. In his mind,
point of view is,
you know, you can be any kind of sexual deviant as long as you're straight. See, you know, the ultimate sin for him is gay. You know, so you can sleep with cats and dogs, and you can get found, you know, with a bunch of cats and dogs and all kind of kinky stuff going on. But at least he's straight. He ain't gay in his mind, because to him, you know, the ultimate sin is to be gay. Or to even be associated with anything.
I mean,
gay.
listen,
I know, right?
I've said plenty of times on this show that I got my issues with the gay community and transvestites and all that. I got my issues with them, but they're people, and they got a right to live without all this harassment and all that kind of stuff. And they talk about them so much, I can't even put my issues on the table with them.
Like they want one of them. The reason they talk the way they talk about them. And also, when was it Bill Gates, the one that said he was with the Russian women?
Yeah, Bill
You
Gates.
were talking about earlier tonight, Tyrone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that connects Russia. If he had some Russian women, he's the only one that came out and spoke out and told the truth. While the rest of them trying to lie, and Trump trying to keep people in the court to keep them real. But some videos gonna eventually show up.
Well, that's strange, Maze, because it looked like the Democrats, Bill Gates, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, they the one that came out and said whatever it is with Epstein, but these Republicans keep lying about their association with Epstein. That ain't family values.
Yeah, Lutnick told the lie all the way up until he got caught in the lie and still told more lies.
I think they got to see him again, don't they?
But then I have one more thing before I leave. Tell ABC, I'm sorry that Alma is 47. And he's older than Alma, he need to grow up. Because he can't teach Alma nothing. With his old butt. Because he sound like one of those people that wear their pants up to past their neighbor and walk around complaining about everything he sees except the right thing.
Yeah. See, we got a generation of people that is older. We got a generation of people that is older, about my age, that stopped learning when social media evolved to a point where they can gather all this information. Their brain just stopped. And whatever they see on the computer screen, that's what the hell they believe. Instead of, you know, just taking that for entertainment and then continue to learn about society. Their brain just stopped whenever social media came out.
And some of them brain would not recommend social media.
Well, no, listen. I could say that ABC, even though ABC was full of goddamn conspiracies and Jade Hale Fireman and chemtrails and all that kind of shit, he would kind of evolve in those ideas. But now, I don't know. After COVID, them motherfuckers just broke. I don't know what the hell happened to him or something.
It could have been that ivermectin, Tyrone. Could have fucked his damn chemistry up, you know.
It could have been.
I'm in his head. I'm gonna stay in his head. And don't worry about my age. Worry about yours, because you older than Alma, and you not teaching him nothing. You can't learn from a dummy, but you can learn from people that can give you some information. With that, y'all
and the crazy part about it all is he thinks that all his conspiracies have come true. That nigga was so happy early on in the show. I swear to God. I know he was walking around with a conspiracy Viagra wood, man. I know he was, because he said, finally, Tyrone has seen the light. Finally, that nigga was jumping for joy, man. I'm like, damn. Is it that bad? Is it that bad? You sitting on a lonely ass mountain, and finally you get one other person. And you, oh my God, you know, we got a consensus. Oh my Lord.
All them videos, all them tapes he played to Tucker Carlson. Now he don't even like him no more.
Yeah. Oh, you said ABC don't like Tucker Carlson no more?
Probably don't.
I bet he still do. But all you got to do is look at
They
Texas.
told him not to like him anymore.
If
So
you-
whatever they tell him to do, he do it.
If you look at
'Cause he say
Texas and Jasmine Crockett, you can see a black Democrat out there putting in the goddamn work, doing what the black community is supposed to do, and you can't say that the black community don't benefit off of Democrats like Jasmine Crockett, even though she lost. You know, she was working for her district. You know, I hate that she lost.
He would have still been there if Dodo would have moved the district and combine it together. He's interfering in the election.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
she
he
was the
doing
only
everywhere.
one in Congress up there putting the feet to the damn fire to them damn
Yeah.
politicians now.
Mm-hmm.
Her
like
and
her.
I think who else was up there doing that? AOC and that Jewish
And,
guy Walkerwitz or whatever his name is.
Yeah. She was
They can't
working
make
for
no mistake.
everybody, not just her district.
Yeah,
Everybody.
but no, you
But
can't.
they didn't deserve her. They did not deserve Jasmine Crockett. They didn't deserve her.
And I'm
So
pretty sure
they got that
Talarico
dude-
all right, but I mean I think Jasmine Crockett should have got that.
Well, he takes Talarico. I don't know about him. As I told you, he takes Miriam Adelson. He's taking large donations from. That's a big time Trump supporter, and he quietly took big money from her.
But he may be compromised.
Big money from her.
But Trump was talking about making Ted Cruz a senator. I mean, a Supreme Court justice.
Oh God. Oh Lord. Yeah, because everybody was fighting for John Fetterman. You remember they had that race against him and Dr. Oz, and everybody, all the Democrats were trying to get him up in the office, but that motherfucker's a goddamn Republican. That's all
You got
John
that
Fetterman
right.
is.
That's all he is. It's just like I tell BB that it's not about the party. It's about who's going to be working for you. He don't understand that.
Yeah, they need
Maybe
to
one day
figure
it'll
out
be-
to get that lobby money out of damn politics altogether. Because those fucking people get up in Washington and they get rich as hell. They take that lobby money and they don't give a fuck about their constituents once they fucking get elected. They don't care.
And one thing he don't know, he keep coming up, we going to hell. You're already in hell, and you don't even know it. Because you think they control everything, but they don't. Just because they control your mind don't mean they have to control our mind. Because we do think for ourselves. So y'all have a good one.
All right, Maze. And look, guys, it's past my bedtime, and I'm getting ready to get out of here. And if y'all want to call in to the show, y'all know the number is 717-908-1834. And I'm going to shut YouTube down and open up these lines. I appreciate you, Miss Lisa, and everybody that called in. And I'll talk to y'all later.
Peace, black man.
Q&A session is over. All participants are unmuted.